What is good, everybody? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again for another episode of The Daily Show. Gotta introduce y'all to the squad. What's good, y'all? Really good. We got a lot to cover today, and we're gonna get into it. Got a full 2-hour show today as well, man. We was cutting them short last week, so we're gonna do y'all right today. Don't worry about it, man. On the show today, takeaways from Summer League, man. Summer League finally coming to an end. Do we really care? Bron's out in Drew League again. Do we really care? But Bron out in Drew League doing his thing. DeMar DeRozan getting into it with Muggs in the Drew League. Gotta love that. The chippiness, the spark. He also dropped 30 at Drew League. So shout out to DeMar DeRozan on that one. And then what else we got? What else we got on the docket today, man? Oh, most importantly, the title topic. How would we rank this Bulls roster if 100% healthy in the Eastern Conference and in the NBA? All that and more starting right now on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. What is good, I hate this nigga. What is good, everybody? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again with the squad. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. How you boys feeling today, man? What's going on with y'all, man? What's happening here? We got the squad in the building.
I'm good, man.
We got Ringo in the chat. What's going on? Hold on. Let me. We got AD in the building. AD looking like some barbecue ribs in this mug, man. We got Stefan in the building. Ringo in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Ringo look like he got an 8 for you right now. We got the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, in the building. He got a 6-track R&B EP coming out for you right now. Stop playing with him. You definitely got you got the good, the bad. You definitely selling Zaza and some ruts.
Yo.
Hey, the best is
we got we got Trey Fives, we got Apes, we got Quarters. The best is literally you know what's hilarious about this insider. When they asked me this morning, what's the topics? I didn't respond because I didn't have nothing to talk about yet. And literally what Kid sent was basically the conversation we just So technically, we still right on track, man.
I mean, we got to start from the top. How to sell. You gotta blank it out because YouTube be tripping.
Right?
So
I came ready for class, bro.
He is definitely ready for class. Are you sitting in the front or the back though? That's the question. It don't matter.
The back.
Right. Who volunteered to get their eyebrows burnt off?
On a plug unintentionally. How you do that unintentionally? I just forgot to call him back. I
forgot. It's on me. That's on me. Man, we got a lot to get into today, man. So let's jump straight into it. First off, anything from the weekend that really caught y'all eye, man? The weekend review to start the show off. Anything from the weekend that really caught y'all eye that y'all was like, bro, this is wild, this is crazy.
I gotta jump in right here. Them Summer League rings is better than the WNBA.
You said what?
Them Summer League rings being better than the trophies at the WNBA.
Jesus.
Boy, that ring looked gorgeous compared to that trophy they gave for the All-Star NBA
for Plum
MVP.
Yeah,
Plum.
Then what do the WNBA championship rings even look like?
The Chicago Sky rings look pretty good.
They got that.
They still get to like pick how they want to design and stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's got the skyline on it. It's got the sky on the side, and it's decent. They did a good job with their ring.
That is, bro. That trophy, legitimately, somebody looked up that trophy.
Was crazy.
Ain't it like
trophy, bro?
It's like $15, ain't it?
Because Shorty tried to carry it with her, and I'm like, she don't need no help with this. Like she legit held on to it with her, like it was heavy. Like when she presented Plum with the with the MVP.
Oh, there was a grouping. Yeah. Like both of them was just like here you go.
You know how Adam Silver will give them the Obi and like they'll walk together with it a little bit. Like she legit tried to go from presenting it to her to handing it to her to helping her with like holding one handle. I'm like, you could have just You could have legit tossed it to Shorty. She would have caught it and walked up with it. It's fine.
Gotta do. Listen,
I ain't gonna lie, them rings is fly though. They rings is fly.
Yeah, the Chicago Sky rings is.
I'm glad they do a good job with the championship. But here's the thing, right? Like, the WNBA just can't get out of their own way. Like, you gotta know that this is coming, right? Like, you can't just be this naive to think that, like, oh yeah, everybody's gonna be fine with the fact that we definitely got this trophy. That, by the way, Amazon has now come out with the technology that I can just hold my phone up to the screen and it's gonna tell me where it came from.
Oh wow. No, but look, this is what comes with more popularity. More eyes are gonna be on the league, so more of the flaws are going to be pointed out.
Is this good?
Yeah.
Are you saying it's a good thing that the flaws are getting called out?
Yeah, it really is. Because look how we are with the NBA. We're spoiled to a point, but anything that looks kind of hinky or looks bogus. Like,
what you mean? All of their stuff looks janky compared to what they used to give out right now. All of the MVP trophies look whack. Yeah. The new championship trophy literally looks like a basketball being thrown into a trash can, and it looked like it's fake gold. Yeah, and it looked like it's fake gold. Like, it don't. I know it's not, but like, bro, like if we going off a look, like the trophies the NBA have now look bogus. The best looking
NBA
trophy,
or WNBA?
The NBA.
What you mean the trophies look bogus?
Bro, the new trophies they got, because they changed the Larry O'Brien trophy.
They did?
They added like the net to it or whatever.
I thought it always had that net. I
don't think so.
Net on it.
It had it, then they took it away because Jordan has some that has the net on it.
So they just not, man. They go from the chat.
They go from having the indentation or the like them marking the net into the Larry OB to it not being there. They really should do every trophy. I like how they do the Stanley Cup. Like, okay, cool. You get it for the year you won it. We scribe your name into it, and then the next time it goes to another team.
I like that. I like that. And then once you know what, that is dope. The difference is, right, like, I like that everybody gets their own trophy. Like, the Stanley Cup is literally Lord Stanley's cup.
Yeah.
But I like that they
pass it around.
No, I like that everybody, because like then the Bulls have 6. Or am I tweaking on that? Don't everybody get one, or is it the same trophy every year?
Who?
Everybody.
They make the Larry OB.
It's a new trophy every year.
Trophy,
That's what I thought. It's a new trophy every year. Because I know, like, the Blackhawks got replica cups at. No, they don't. No, just the Bulls got I think
the biggest thing they get is their rings and the banner.
They got the replica rings.
That's why they do that tour the whole off season with the Stanley Cup. But I will tell you, it is better compared to some of the EuroLeague soccer trophies that are made out of glass.
Yeah, well,
a lot of those have
them must be getting
broken, run over. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like, yo, we just won this thing. Y'all are drunk, and then you tossing it like Tom Brady on the boat, and then you don't catch it. Like, that thing is broken. You don't have nothing now.
That's funny.
I will say the new trophy they give you for
yeah, bro, this look whack to me.
That glass trophy they give you for what's the Kobe Bryant award they give you? Is that All-Star MVP?
Kobe's is the All-Star MVP, yeah.
That trophy was cold.
Not necessarily, but I get
it. That one looked whack to me. Which one is Kobe's? I don't even remember what that one looked like.
It's the All-Star MVP. It's glass, but it has a bunch of symbolism. It's cold because of the symbolism behind it.
Oh, you said it looked cold.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, though. I'm with you on that. The Summer League rings definitely. And here's the thing. I think the Summer League rings are janky, but I'll bet you they cost more than the trophy.
They can't put too much sauce on it because of the Summer League, but
which is fine. But I'll bet you those rings cost more than her MVP trophy.
That's a fact.
Oh, no, that's a fact. You ain't have to put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's tough.
But my thing is, why even?
I like that one though. I like that one. I like it.
Consider what it used to be.
Yeah, I like
it used
that
to be
one.
just the ball with the logo on.
Yeah.
The glass little ball on the little. That was it.
Oh yeah.
This I like this.
I like that one. No, I'm with that. Hey, man, let's get. It wasn't really too much. I'm with you on that. Anything else happened this weekend that was crazy? It wasn't nothing crazy this weekend. It was kind of a chill weekend.
Yeah, the biggest news was boy from.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Turning down 440 is crazy. I guess that is pretty crazy, but that's a topic on the show. Well, let's get into our main topic, man. Let's get into the title topic. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. If y'all haven't done so yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Ooh, I didn't realize you sent a second picture. Good Jesus Christ. Here's the question on the table, right? And it's the title question. Looking at the Bulls, especially coming off of Summer League, kind of the takeaways from the team and where we feel like this team is heading this season. Question on the table.
By the way, I have to say this before we move forward.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
The WNBA confirmed and verified that the trophy created for the league was by Tiffany & Co. and did not cost $18.
I need the receipt. Who swiped that credit card? We got receipts.
My thing is why make? Okay, so
here's the problem. They went to Tiffany, and then Tiffany took an $18 CAD and then made a text. They gave it to him. It's Tiffany.
Why does
shout out to Tiffany for that flip? That's a heck of a flip right there.
Why does a WNBA trophy have to be small and dainty? That's my only thing. Like when everybody wins,
not a lot of them women are small and dainty, so I agree with you on that.
Because you can't.
I mean, the smallest chick in the league is still 6 foot.
Yeah, I mean it's it's professional basketball. But even then, like when you win, like they don't make smaller gold medals for women's athletics in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I'm like, give them all trophies that everybody can kind of see.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little wild.
It's weird.
Here's a question on the table though. If you were to look at the Chicago Bulls roster after knowing the Summer League's over, looking at what those guys are going to be a part of this, right? Where would you say you would rank this Bulls roster as currently constructed, 100% healthy? Everybody's 100% healthy. Not only just among the Eastern Conference, but among the NBA. Because I think this Bulls team actually has, I mean, it's crazy to say, right? But I was thinking about it when I was making my video yesterday. The Bulls team that we were supposed to get actually has a lot of depth to it. Health just took it away. But if you think about your roster last season, you're talking about Ayo Dosunmu, Alex Caruso, Derrick Jones Jr., Javonte Green. A lot of guards still. It's still guards. It's still a lot of guards. You still had some holes at your big man position. Yeah, I mean, I think that's we all agree that's where that team was a little bit flawed at, where you're going out there with Tony Bradley to go to war, and pretty much that's the only dude on the team that's 7 foot. Marko Simonovic wasn't heavy enough to get out there last season. But you look at your depth and at least the defense off of that bench, and you feel better about that bench. And now you're coming into this season, you adding in Andre Drummond, you're adding in Goran Dragic, you're adding in 2 names just off of your Summer League team that you feel like can contribute in Dalen Terry. And I think a little bit in Marko Simonovic after you saw what he did in Summer League as well. Not that I'm taking a lot of solace in it, but I mean, how do you guys view this team overall among the Eastern Conference?
Among the Eastern Conference, I got them as being I would say that they have a top 5 roster. I mean, because if you look at it, like the starting 5 is already I wouldn't say it's solidified, because you probably gonna have, I don't know what's gonna happen with the point guard situation
with Lonzo. Yeah,
with that being obvious, but I mean, you still got Ayo who played 40 games. Goran Dragic is your backup is a very solid get. But then, I mean, if you look at the guys that, did play in Summer League, Marko, and like you said, we're not taking a lot of solace in it, but, Marko, if he can, you can see him giving you about, 10, maybe.
If Marko give me 10 and 8,
10 and 8.
If Marko give me 10 and 8, that's a success. He's a second round pick. I don't know if people remember that.
I think that's
10 and 8 for a second round pick in his second year is very good.
Man, Kobe White and Dalen Terry coming off the bench. Dalen Terry, them last couple of games, like right after we saw AK say like he need to be more aggressive. He came out.
Yeah.
He definitely showed that, and especially because I think he's just gonna get minutes just off of his defensive instincts.
Yeah.
Along him being able to know where the ball is, and him with his court vision and everything. You got Alex Caruso. I do think that this is a top 5 roster. In the East as a whole, and I think they got a pretty good shot to do some things.
Here's the question that I gotta, and I want, you know what, y'all give y'all thoughts before I ask.
Well, shoot, with me, I feel like in the East,
it seemed like you didn't even look at the roster.
Hey, no, I did. I just looked. I looked at him, but I was confused by something I saw because I'm like, it's not updated where I was looking on the score app.
What, it still say Tristan Thompson or something?
No, it's got Matt Thomas. It said GTD with a lower.
Oh, it's just showing you the last game.
Yeah, it's showing me last game stuff. So I was confused. I'm like, I know a couple of these got signed by a couple more teams. But off the top of my head, I'm like, we are where. Like the homer in me wants to say, like, yo, we won. Like, I don't care who we face.
There's an argument for it. There's absolutely an argument for it. But
realistically, I think we will bounce back and forth between the first, like, 1 through 3rd seeds. Based off our roster, we team up well against anyone in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
The superstars will be superstars, but the East is a lot better than it has been in past years. We're looking more like the West from like 3 or 4 years ago, where it's getting like that 1 through 6. Anybody could be a first seed. Anybody could be a 6th seed. It's going to be tight. Like it's going to be 2 to 3 games between each other in a loss column. So I say solid. Like my solid answer is a 2 seed in the East. But I'm not scared of anybody. Even in Milwaukee, I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of Brooklyn. The dysfunction will keep them out of it, I believe. But anybody
still
else,
a 5th, 6th seed in my opinion.
Why is that?
Let's think about it. The Brooklyn Nets retain Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and they play. They're a top 3 seed. I don't care what happened in the playoffs. All season, with 1 in, 1 out, they proved to be a top 3 seed. You still have you got 2 of the best offensive players in the league and 1 of the best defensive players in the league who can run point. They're going to be all right. Plus, they picked up T.J. Warren and some stuff like that. They've added some depth to their roster. That roster, simply because they're so top heavy, is going to be a top 3 team, top 3 or 4 team in the East. That's just it. Whether they go far, I don't care. But as far as regular season is concerned, they're going to win a lot of games. The Bucks are coming back healthy, and they made 1 acquisition. Who did they pick up? They picked up somebody.
Joe Ingles.
Joe Ingles.
He's hurt though.
Where did Malcolm Brogdon go?
He's not going to play.
Brogdon is in Boston.
Okay.
I got Boston. Boston to me has got the best roster.
Boston has arguably one of the best rosters. I'm still confused about Brogdon. I think they needed a more of a traditional point. I don't think Brogdon is it. But they did replace, like what Brogdon brings to the table is going to replace what they were expecting from Pritchard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though those 2, Pritchard and what's the other gentleman's name? Derek White, good 3-point shooters. So they have, that roster is loaded. But for some odd reason, Boston just has never gotten it together to get over the hump. And I really feel like they're going to end up moving off of Jason Tatum, one of them, simply because something is missing there. Something in it is, everyone knows it. Everyone sees it. We can't put our finger on it. And, it's not to hate on them, but it just is. But they're still a top 4 team in the East. So you got Bucks, Nets, if they retain KD and Kyrie for the majority of the season. I want to put that caveat in there. We got Bucks, we got Nets, we got Celtics, and I'm going to roll back with Philly because if James Harden took a pay cut for them to add, they haven't had enough time we haven't really seen what other pieces they're going to add, but them picking up PJ Tucker was a really good one. I don't know why he keeps getting bounced around because he's shown up.
We talking about really good on PJ Tucker?
I just don't think
PJ literally there for one dude.
I don't think he's ever really signed something long term.
And he can knock down the corner three.
PJ's there for one dude.
They paid him 30 M's for 2 games
for Giannis,
for 3 games a year.
And it only works. Literally, it only works if you run into Milwaukee. Miami didn't even run into Milwaukee, and then it was like PJ Tucker was just there.
Hey, I think he's a good pickup. He brings another level of grit to the team that they absolutely need. And if you really look at it, they still have Tobias Harris. They still have Maxey. They still got Joel Embiid, who should have been league MVP, arguably should have been league MVP. And then did I already mention they had James Harden?
Yeah. That's the main mention.
They got that guy.
That's the main mention.
Even if he's a shell of himself, it's still 22, 11, and 10.
No, it sounds like he was trying to put in work.
It's 22, 11, and 10.
Double
on 41% though.
Double
on 41%.
I mean,
hey, listen. On 41%, he's still a max player. A shell of himself. He's still a max player. They're gonna pay
him max money.
It's worth it. Anytime you look on the numbers, somebody averaging nearly 23 points, 11 rebounds, or 11 assists, whatever it is, still a triple. He's averaging a legit triple double.
Yeah,
you pay that man max money.
It is going to be very hard.
You would pay Russ max money?
I would not pay Russ max money because he does not have the potential, nor does he have the propensity to be the offensive juggernaut that James Harden was or can be. Like James Harden 22, 10, and 11 is a really good year for Russ. It's probably it's Russ is like Russ's average of the last. That was Russ's average in Washington, if I'm not mistaken.
Washington
23, maybe. Whatever. Right before he got traded, I think that was his average.
I think
that was considered that was a Russ. We were like, oh, he got up to the playoffs and stuff like that. I mean, I might be off on the points. It may have been.
Nah, you're right. 22, 11. Jeez, 22, 11, and 11.
Hey, got him to the playoffs and stuff like that.
Better shooting percentage.
Respect that. Put some respect on that man's name.
On a better shooting percentage.
Put some respect on his name. When he's in the right situation, he can shine. Yeah. He ain't in the right situation. I don't know where he goes to get into the right situation now.
He should have went. He make too much money. He make too much money now.
They won't like it, and they'll probably say he makes too much money, but he needs to be on that second unit.
No.
To do what he want to do,
no,
he got to do what he wants to do.
There's no that whole Lakers thing to me is a whole that's a mess because they you know what? Here's the thing: if LeBron let Russ actually play PG, Russ wouldn't look as bad. But LeBron's still got to hold the ball a lot, so
he plays more.
Russ would look really good in Indiana right now.
Russ and LeBron are the same, not the same level of player, but they have the same limitations.
Yep.
They need shooters around them so that they can get those shooters the ball because they pass the ball so well.
Which is why they shouldn't be on the floor at the same.
Which is why they shouldn't be on the same team.
But you can negate that by, if he has to be there because there's nowhere they're not.
I want to see how Darvin Ham's going to do that. But here's my thing, right? With the
Russ will look really good on Detroit right now too. If you
Russ will look really good on Detroit. Well, no, they don't really have no shooters either.
Cade is a volume shooter. They got shooters. No, they got shooters.
They got dudes that shoot the ball. That don't mean that they going in like that. We'll see what they do.
Russ will look good in Chicago.
Yeah, we got enough shooters. Hold up.
Just throwing that out there.
Your whole camera just froze, my boy.
Oh, yeah, definitely did.
Kid froze in a mug right now. Can you hear us, kid?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. We can't see you though. you just stuck in the same position. Let's see. You come back. Let's see. But no, the thing that the one question that I will ask. Let's see if he come back the same. I thought he came back. Oh, that boy internet out of there. All right, we'll get Kid back in there. Don't worry about it. We'll drop that for a second. The one thing that I will ask, right, when you think about you know, where this team is at and how this team is going to, how this roster is constructed. Do you feel like there's a case to be made because these guys have played together? All right, you moving again. Do you feel like there's a case to be made for them being higher because these guys have played together, right? Even if we're talking about KD and Kyrie. KD and Kyrie have still played a grand total of what? 28 games together in 3 years?
I thought it was like 50 or something like that. Yeah, is less than a season.
Was it the whole 3 that it played like 19 games together or something like that?
Yeah,
and so
Lakers 18-5 though.
Oh, yeah, dominant with James Harden, Kyrie.
That was James Harden, Kyrie.
Yeah, that was all 3 of them. That was all 3 of them. So whatever it is, right? They haven't played a ton together for various different reasons, right? Next season will really be the first season they're playing together. I think that's a format that can work, but they both basically said they don't want to be there and Kyrie opted back in because it's the best position for him. That's going to be an interesting situation to see how Brooklyn ends up playing that out. But when you look at the rest of the league, right, outside of Boston and Milwaukee, Miami's coming with a completely new roster. Philly's still trying to figure it out. Philly never figured that roster out. Philly never figured that team out. And it could be just because Doc Rivers, if your argument is that Doc Rivers isn't coaching them well and isn't putting them in good positions and is telling Tobias Harris to stand in the corner, that's not going to change next season. Doc Rivers is still there. Now, I think Joel Embiid's a better player than anybody that the Bulls have right now, but there's a lot put on his shoulders. And again, right, like we talk about how big a loss it was for him not having Andre Drummond last season and how he just seemed exhausted in the end of that. They didn't fix that backup big position. We thought that they were going to use the young fella that was out there. They hardly threw him out there at all.
They didn't. No, they didn't throw Claxton.
Yeah, I'm saying so.
Claxton out there.
Not Claxton in Philly. What was the young dude that was in Philly that we thought was going to get all the minutes? He was the backup big. And we was like, well, he'll just take over the minute. And he really didn't get that much.
Drummond was going to be the backup big.
Well, no, Drummond was the backup big at the start of the season, and then they moved Drummond. When they moved Drummond, it was another young fella. Hold up. I'm
not familiar with who you're talking about.
I mean, like, I feel like there's a case to be made. Like the teams that are as much cases.
Miami's coming back with the same roster as well.
Yeah, but I mean,
Miami's roster is weird to me. Like
Miami's roster is like, is your roster going to be confident in itself? Like you got two dudes that lost confidence in the playoffs. The third dude that lost confidence got traded.
Wait, who's the two?
There's nothing about Miami's
Tyler
roster.
Hero didn't lose no confidence, but he was just missing. He did.
There's nothing about Miami.
He was missing before that. Let's not cap here. That man was missing. So
Miami needs to blow it up.
You said what?
Miami needs to blow it up. There's nothing about that roster that screams championship. Absolutely nothing.
You gotta tell Pat Riley that.
Why is KD?
Well, Pat Riley knows. Pat Riley's trying to make some moves.
Why is
Miami's been in every major trade talk.
Why is KD?
Miami's been in a KD series heavy. Miami was in a Aiden series on a low heavy. Like they were trying to make some moves. They just didn't work out.
We were never in on Aiden.
You all were flirting with Aiden, and then Pacers put out 133, and they was like, nah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you in on Aiden at at $20 million a year, yeah, I'm in on Aiden too. but that's not realistically being in on Aiden. I mean, everybody's in on Aiden if he's gonna take the $20 million a year deal.
I mean, the Suns would have extended him if he wanted 20 a year.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think the interesting thing, right, is when I look at the East, as much has been talked about with continuity, as much has been talked about with, just the team playing together, and honestly, just a healthy roster. I think you can make a case for this Bulls roster being a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference, right? And here's the one reason why I would say they might be lower than that would be, I have no belief in Philly. So I'll put that out there now. I have no belief. I have no belief that Philly's gonna work. Just because
we talking about overall a regular
season. I don't believe that Philly's gonna work, because when you talk about it, right, like we want to talk about a team that's top heavy, even if Joel Embiid and James Harden are great. Tobias Harris don't get used enough. Maxey can't hit a 3. And who else is on the team?
Nah, Maxey can hit three.
Not my bad, not Maxey. That's what I was thinking. Thibault can't hit a three. Maxey's not.
Now, Thibault is someone who's been on the chopping block for a while. They've been trying to get off that.
He can't shoot at all. That man shot in the teens in the playoffs.
This is their roster. They got
Andre Roberts.
They got Charles Bassey. They got Charlie Brown Jr., who's two-way. Julian Champagne.
Hey, you can stop reading.
You can stop right now. Hey, listen, you start naming some names. I'm like, who?
He said three names. They don't sound like they really in the NBA. So, one of them sound like he got a comic strip.
So that was their full roster. This is their starters. So they got D. Melton, Maxey, Thibault, Harris, and Embiid. And then the way the site I'm looking at right now breaks it down into their starters and then their bench rotation players.
All right, what's the bench?
Rotation players shows Milton, House, Tucker, Korkmaz, Niang. Who's last name? And then
did you say Tucker? Who's Tucker?
PJ
Tucker.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Sorry,
I just talked about PJ.
Your $33 million man.
Yeah, it's just first initial last name on here. But
that roster don't do nothing for me. That roster's mad top heavy, and the only problem with that roster for me is the reliance on James Harden, who's never gotten it done.
So
but I don't think they're relying on James Harden. I think they're relying on Joel Embiid.
Yeah, but Joel Embiid can't do it by himself.
No, because
James Harden has to be close to Houston James Harden.
So where's Tobias Harris for
that team to be great?
No, he don't.
For that team to win a championship?
That's he
don't have to be close to James Harden.
For that team to win a championship.
The one thing about James Harden that I can definitively say is he's never had a talent like Joel Embiid. A big like that who can go get his bucket. He's never had a big like Joel Embiid. You can't say that. You said a talent.
No, you said a talent.
I'm going with the big. I'm going with the fact that he's a big. He's never had a big like Joel Embiid.
This man never.
He's had bigs like Clint Capella, who he made a star, who he helped get paid. He's had bigs like what's the other dude?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, who was a shell of himself. Or not used the right way.
That was pre-back injury. 20 and 11.
I was gonna say Dwight Howard was 22 and 11.
Okay, so Dwight Howard's 22-11. Let's break this down. Can Dwight Howard do half of the things that Joel Embiid can do on the offensive side?
Dwight Howard, he wasn't 22 and 11. He was 18 and 12. My bad. 18.
I'm not dissing Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard's a great traditional big,
and they instantly went away from Dwight too. But no,
15,
he can't.
15 feet or less.
Where
Dwight
has
Howard
Tobias
shine.
Harris been?
No, he can't. But here's the thing, right? Like I can't act like he didn't have talent.
Oh no, he had talent.
The same way I can't. Like he had quite a bit of talent,
but he was in the West and he ran into the Warriors. You can't fault him for that either. I mean, he got smacked by one of the best teams of NBA history. Twice. I can't fault him for that. I really can't.
But here's the thing. That team never looked like they were going to win because even in the series before that, they almost got beat by Chris Paul and the doggone Oklahoma City Thunder. That their next best player was Steven Adams and rookie Shai Gilgeous.
Well, that was the Houston and James and Russ Rockets, which that wasn't going to work.
I mean, but we can go to very different Rockets, right? Like multiple Rockets.
They took the team down to build it around this dude. When they got rid of Dwight, it was him, Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson. I mean, he's played with a myriad of players. I don't see why this argument.
Here, my thing. This is my thing, right? Like,
I'm not arguing for him. Trust me, I could care less about James Harden. You all know that.
No. My thing is that right. Like, can Joel Embiid do it with a player that's not giving you the offensive output anywhere close to Houston James Harden? That's what it comes down to, because there's not a lot of scoring on this team anymore. You gutted the team. Like James Harden on this team with the team that you sent to Brooklyn for James Harden, there's an argument there. But Maxey got to take a heck of a leap.
I think we're underestimating two things. One, Joel Embiid is 30 points a game. James Harden at his worst is still 23, 24 points a game. He's shown that.
We have 50.
We have 50. Tobias Harris is an average of 20 points a game. Maxey is an average of 15 points a game.
What was Tobias Harris? Now here's the thing.
Lineup, if we're being honest.
What was Tobias Harris average with James Harden?
Here's the thing.
That average plummeted.
It's such a small sample size. I'm not going to give that. I'm not going to.
But that's the style of play it's going to be.
I'm not going to sit there and look at the end of that season and let that be the end all be all. I can't.
The end of that season, that's still what, 40 games?
I'm not going to sit there and do that simply because
that's 20 games plus playoffs.
Plus playoffs.
You're looking at you made it to the second round.
So that's 30 games.
As someone who hoops, all I'm saying is this:
that's enough.
When you get new talent on your team, you don't have time to implement system. You don't have time to implement continuity. You're just out there do what you do well, and we'll figure it out. That's how they were playing, and that's ultimately how the Nets played for a while. And that's why I say that, hey, if they actually buckle down, that's the best team in the East. If they all bring it back.
Here's the thing.
So I'm not gonna sit there and fault him. Now, if this season shows up, they play all season, and they don't build that continuity, now we can sit there and criticize them. But you can't sit there.
But it's about where he was, kid.
Bro.
Where was we talked about it in the playoffs? Where was Tobias Harris on the court? With James Harden on the court?
In the corner.
He got pushed to the corner.
He was a spot up shooter. Tobias Harris ain't a spot up shooter.
Again, it's new.
But
it's new.
But look
at how Miami looked the first time they got together. I always reference this. The first 40 games, they was trash.
The first 18.
Nah, y'all was pretty bad 40, for a while.
First 40.
Y'all was pretty mediocre for a little while.
Y'all was real mediocre. But guess what?
Y'all started winning. Y'all started winning after the 18, but y'all was still looking mediocre.
It was really the first 18. Then after that, once we hit that 40 game mark and hit that stride, it was over with for everybody.
But if you put that in full context, by the time you hit the 40 game mark, you had a whole half a season and at the All-Star break to really start steamrolling.
True.
This team didn't have that opportunity. They were already in high pressure playoff situations.
But here's my question.
To give it time.
But here's my question. Here's why I asked this in the context of where the Bulls rank in the Eastern Conference, right? Is the system going to change?
No, the system is not going. No.
Did the coach change?
The system may change. We don't know. You don't know how that system is going to shape up.
What's wrong with how they play?
We have more continuity.
Nothing's wrong with how they play. They're playing. James is the point. Embiid's the big. We gonna run pick and roll, pick and pop all day, and we gonna kill everybody. It works.
We don't know because this is a different James Harden, and he's kind of alluded to that. He said he wants to play elite, but at the same time, he's taking less money. He's taking considerably less if you really expand what he really did. And he's in a different stage of his career. And the crazy thing is he realizes that.
That's my point too. That's my point too. If James Harden is able to score and facilitate and get another player that has been super quiet on that team, which is Tobias Harris, if they can get him involved and if he can facilitate as well as score, then they look a lot different than just feeding it to Embiid, feeding it out, taking it around the horn until it get to James. Passing it again back to James, somebody got to score. You pick one, that type of thing. Then they'll look a lot better.
I think, but I think the thing that everybody is missing, in my opinion, is the fact that they still didn't show up the backup big spot.
Wrong person.
They still didn't show up the backup big spot for Joel. It's cool.
I'm doing a lot of jobs here. Finish the topic.
they still didn't show up the backup big spot for Joel. And what's about to happen is you got the case of we basically got PJ to play small ball 5.
Yeah.
For us. So that means we're gonna play James and Joel kind of like we did James and Chris in Houston, where they'll play like the 5-minute increments and like the first half and stuff like that, and then they'll swap them out. And then after that small ball lineup is gonna come in.
I don't think that just because I don't think they'll do it like that just because Doc Rivers don't coach.
Matisse, you still got
Tyrese Maxey.
You still got Matisse.
Thybulle.
Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah, but Doc Rivers don't coach nothing like
Harrison Corner.
Doc Rivers don't coach nothing like
so I mean,
Mike D'Antoni.
It's still destined for failure to me.
My thing with it is that we've seen Doc
I'm more
Rivers
concerned about that. What you just mentioned.
What?
The coach.
Yeah, no,
Doc Rivers gets smoked so much.
But but this is why I'm saying that, right? The coach plays into it. The coach is a part of, unfortunately, well, I don't know about unfortunately, but the coach is a part of the roster for them, maybe, unfortunately. The coach is a part of the roster because when you talk about a roster construction, you're talking about how that roster is being used. So if the Chicago Bulls are 100% healthy, their entire roster is not only, to me, better. Yeah, they've got definitely got a better player in Joel Embiid than anything the Bulls can put on the floor. That's just a fact. You've got an MVP candidate right there. But if you're talking about the entire roster as a whole, looking at point guard through center, bench point guard through center, and how they're being utilized, we know what Doc Rivers is going to do. We know exactly the style. He's going to run the same style with Joel Embiid and James Harden that he ran with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
I find it really hard to smoke the team that consistently beats us. Like, no matter what, Philly was a matchup I didn't want to see because we, for some odd reason, they just had our number.
It's a different team every year.
That's the thing. Like, teams at times can just have your number. They don't have to necessarily be the world champions and stuff like that, but just like, man, we match up so poorly against this one specific team. And for us, it's always been Philly. And for what they gave up, you got to think about what they gave up. They gave up somebody who didn't play any of the times we got blown out by Philly. And Seth Curry, basically, and Andre Drummond for a player who can do what Seth does, do what Ben does, and if you can show up a backup big, you ain't got to worry about that. They got James Harden for really nothing.
Oh, you talk about facilitating.
Like, James Harden can facilitate.
I thought you was talking about defense for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
He rebounds just as good. He scores better. Like, you traded someone who didn't do any of that for you when we were getting beat. The Bulls were getting beat by them. For practically him as your marquee player that you were trading. But in a lot of different ways, they got better.
But to me, that doesn't mean, I don't know how they got better in your opinion, but outside of just James, I guess. But I mean,
you got to think about it. Who did they really trade?
That doesn't mean that you got the better roster though either. The Derrick Rose Bulls rarely beat the Sacramento Kings. The Michael Jordan Bulls struggled against the Sacramento Kings. Nobody would ever. Now that's a different. Actually, never mind. That's a different Sacramento Kings team. The Derrick Rose Bulls struggled against the Sacramento Kings.
Mitch Richmond was a dog.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But nobody would say like that was a better roster than what the Bulls had.
Well, that's my point.
Like Tyreek Evans and DeMarcus Cousins.
Every year, it's either somebody new or somebody different.
Honestly, we can argue though.
There's been more change around us than it has been for our team specifically. Like Detroit is a dog. The Pacers are a dog. Philly can be a dog if they get that mentality. Atlanta's a dog now. Brooklyn, New York, despite whatever they got going on up there.
Hey, let me ask you this specifically. Let's just run this down. Top five, our five versus the Philly's five specifically. Is Vooch better than Embiid?
No.
Is he better? No.
Okay. Is DeMar better than James Harden?
Yes.
Would you say considerably so?
He's a two-way player.
If he plays like he did last season, yeah.
He's more of a two-way player than James.
Whoa. Two-way. Relax. Calm down.
I said more.
Relax.
I said more.
Relax.
Zero defense plus some defense is more.
They're getting cooked at the same rate.
Hey, listen, I'm going to say this.
He
may be a better defender, but I'm a little iffy on the two-way thing right there.
I don't know about the two-way.
He's not two-way compared to two-way players, but he's a two-way player compared to James.
I would say this.
I wouldn't even say that. James Harden played the passing lanes really well.
I don't think
James Harden actually. What is James Harden was like one of the best. He led the NBA in steals a couple of times and stuff like that. Like,
if you looked at DeMar's defense in the beginning of the season before his offensive load got heavier, he was really.
I'll give you that.
Defensively.
I'll give you that. He was better defensively.
I don't put DeMar better than James Harden. I would say that he's on the same plane.
So we'll call that a draw.
I don't know.
I would say James and DeMar.
Is Zach better than Tobias Harris?
110%.
110%, right?
Tobias Harris over.
Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris for me.
What? Yeah, in the words of Jimmy. Thank you.
Who's their fourth? Our fourth would be P. Will. Was that fourth PJ Tucker?
No, their 4 would be
Thibault, I thought.
Technically, yeah, probably.
Okay, Thibault versus P. Will. That's a
I would take P. Will.
P. Will.
P. Will's gonna give me more offensive.
P. Will could shoot. P. Will could shoot better than Thibault.
Thibault can't shoot at all. Thibault has no offensive game.
Thibault can't shoot at all.
Steph, P. Will ain't showed me he can shoot.
Come on, dog.
P. Will ain't showed me that consistently. It ain't no come on.
Hey, show me Thibault's 20 points in the playoffs.
I'm not gonna show. Hey. He ain't got it.
You can't show me anything offensively for Thibault.
Thibault is a defensive clamp.
You might be able to.
He is a better defensive clamp than P. Will right now. That's not salacious to say.
No, I would say that Thibault's what, a block a game, 2 steals a game, something.
He just got to me. He just has more data.
Thibault's solid.
They just have more data.
No, they came in the same time.
But who's been on the court longer? That's what I'm saying by data.
He missed an entire season.
Yeah, he missed the chunk.
But no,
so it's more data on him. That's
Thibault to me is a more of a defensive clamp. I don't know. I don't trust people's offensive game. Also, if he takes the lead, then guess what? Then we win the matchup.
What we're asking from P. Will as well.
First of all, we shouldn't be doubling down on P. Will. I don't care what nobody says.
Well, but you said that Thibault's and P. Will are even. I would disagree with that.
Okay.
We'll call it
you
a
disagree.
Drop.
I mean, hey, listen, I'm not going to sit there and kill P. Will. I'm not going to kill P. Will, but at the same time, I can't sit here and say that P. Will is killing Thibault. I can't do it. The data ain't there. It ain't there. Like, you have one random 20-point game, and you're like, oh, look at what he can do. He's like, oh, he dropped 32. Look at what he can do. It's like,
I've got 2 20-point games in the playoffs where he was the focal point because nobody else could score.
A 40-point game.
A 40-point game. And he played well at the end of the season.
Out of how many games?
He'll have more data this year.
Out of how many games did he play last year?
How many games?
What did he play? 20 games last year?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
Because I'll be interested to see how he plays this.
He played 20 games last year.
We all are.
Because guess what? Thibault has a 38-point game. He has a 25-point game.
That must have been when nobody was watching.
And guess what? It's in the playoffs too.
Nah, that's why I said he might actually have a case because Thibault was knocking down threes in that first series. And then he shot 14% the rest of the way.
Hey, we got to see when Philly's playing the Bulls, man, because I kind of want to see.
Thibault was lighting up Atlanta for 38 points in the playoffs. But in a game where it absolutely mattered for them. So, I mean, like, hey, listen, the data, if we're just going to use these anecdotal games that are like just random, that we randomly pick out, still even.
The thing is,
I like to use head-to-head matchups better than just random.
We're not just randomly picking out games, though. Like, we're picking from the games that people actually played.
Yeah, that's why I meant by like there's more data on Thibault because he's.
But okay, I mean, listen,
shoes on the court more than.
There's a data show that he did the same thing. The data shows that Thibault did the same thing.
P. Will played in 17 games this season.
The data shows that Thibault showed up in the playoffs.
Nah,
twice
no, it don't. Not at all. The data shows that Thibault was trash.
Hold on, but my thing
after the first round
with the Philly Bulls matchup, the most important,
or no, after
the most important position that's played the most effective has been the point guard.
Wait. He said he was trash after the first round. Would P. Will made it out the first round?
No, P. Will, the team didn't have it.
Well, there we go. All right, so we're going to leave that.
This is the whole point. We're talking about but see, the whole point is talking about the roster if healthy.
If healthy, though, point guard wise, Lonzo Ball over Maxey, which we don't know if we're going to have Lonzo Ball. So who's our point guard?
Lonzo Ball. The whole argument is if healthy.
I'm taking
we know that he's not going to start the season.
I'm taking Zoe.
We don't know that yet. They still talking about he's supposed to be ready by training camp, but I don't know.
I'll take Zoe over Maxey.
I don't know.
I'll take Ayo over Maxey. The way he
with a
year under his belt.
Maxey
with a year under his belt, he was cooking.
Maxey was cooking him.
Maxey was cooking him.
Maxey cooked Ayo. I ain't gonna lie.
But the way he's played against with the chip he's had against people that got picked over him.
Yeah.
He know Maxey cooked him. He not cooking him next year.
Hey, listen, Maxey.
I'll put some on it.
I might agree with you.
He's not cooking him next year.
Here's the thing. While I agree with your statement, we're basing it off of data that we've seen, and I saw Maxey cook that boy.
I saw Maxey get that boy behind.
Multiple times.
And this
Multiple times.
But he remember all of it.
when you in the league, you know you got that one matchup that like you know you better than them, but they just be cooking you every time. Like
I'm sorry.
I'm going Maxey over Lonzo because they actually let Maxey do what he need to do. They don't let Lonzo do what he need to do. Maxey's averaging 17 on nearly 18 points a game with Philly.
Yeah, but that's also if he's playing the point. Most of the season, Maxey was playing the point, and now he's going to be the 2 guard. Now, granted, he still played very well at the 2 guard for them. He's still 18 points a game, I believe. James Harden did a good job incorporating him into it.
On that lineup with James?
Technically, James is the 2, but James got the ball in his hand most of the time. But for me, right, it's just looking at that lineup, right? Like
Maxey averaged 18 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds in 21 games with James Harden.
Yeah.
Hold on, peek it real quick. Random question. It was not random, but James Harden has to shoots better when he creates his own shot off the dribble or when he catches the ball off
the dribble.
Off the dribble, yeah. Off the dribble, yeah.
That's what I thought.
I thought you were saying like when he was creating the offense.
No, I'm talking about like because when he gets to dribble and do his multiple variations of the step back.
Yeah, no.
That's when his percentage is higher than catching it.
But here's the other thing, right, that we haven't taken into account with James Harden. The conversation around James Harden didn't change until the rule calls changed.
With the what?
With how they were calling the fouls last season.
You can't step under that call?
No, with how they were calling fouls last season.
Oh, with the
whole up and under, because there was a lot of times if you watch them Philly games where James was like, "Bro, that's a foul," and the ref was like, "No, it ain't."
Try again.
No, it ain't. Hey, especially driving to the bucket. James was driving to the bucket like, we not calling that?
And honestly,
like, no.
I think that's probably one of the main reasons he really was like, oh, I got to change how I play.
That could
because that's not, because that was a majority of how he scored his points and how he created offense.
Hey, James Harden did have dudes crying with how he was manipulating the offensive system. You remember that? Remember that announcer, bro? Remember that announcer? It was like, what we're looking at here is not basketball.
Hey,
I don't know what it is,
big man.
But seeing guys just get to the line, that's not basketball to me.
You can't be.
It wasn't basketball. It wasn't basketball
because the to me looking at how James played. If I'm in some type, if I put myself in the defender's shoes, and of course I'm able at a size and weight that can defend this man. If you play physical with James, I think you kind of can take him out of his game.
Nah, you definitely can. James can use that to an advantage to you. James Harden's offensive game is very much like Taekwondo, right? He'll use your weight against you. So if you press him, he'll quickly shift to the opposite direction. And the fact that you're heavier than him, if you try to quickly shift with him, he can quickly shift back.
But they also allow him to walk up court and get to his spot. If I pick him up,
AD, nobody's playing full court press 48 minutes in the NBA. AD, yeah.
This is not 2K, baby.
Can I ask this? I know it's not trendy, but some things just work in basketball in general.
That ain't one of
picking somebody up.
That ain't
like, why is that? How is that? How's that antiquated?
Because
that's
AD,
my question.
if I'm going against one of the best players in the world and I'm playing him 48 minutes full court, you will be exhausted by
that. It's on you. That's on me as a player to get my conditioning. If I play in the same conference as this man, I know who I'm defending at that position. That's on me.
It's too fast for one. The game now is too fast for you to be like, honestly, you almost like have to box and want it if you do something like that, because there's no way in the world. And then you have to find a player who you cannot rely on the offensive end simply because he's spending all his energy sticking this one person.
That's what you do with Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah. No offense, and that's what you do with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that's what you do with Ben Simmons.
You let Ben lock down that person and let him run the floor. When Ben is in an open court, he's a monster. There's very few people who can stop Ben down here.
Ben Ben is such a weird, bro. It's so weird to me, right? Because like he's really let the fact that he doesn't have a jump shot destroy his game.
That's because people have told him if he confidently just played his game, then it'd be different. But he let people trick him out the street. Like he literally let them trick him out his game and say you gotta shoot. Nah, man, this was working. This was what they was buying when I was doing it. They're doing it. He got in the league doing what he did.
But bro, this is my thing, right? Like it really took him completely out of his game. It took his whole mentality out, like playing like y'all don't. Me and Kid talked about it after it happened. The play that took Philly out the last year was Ben Simmons. No, not taking it. Ben Simmons drove to the bucket, got scared that Danilo Gallinari. His excuse was, or his reasoning was, Danilo Gallinari was coming up behind me. And so I felt like he had a chance to block it. So I dished the pass out. So they dished it out to a 3-point shot that didn't go in.
That's crazy.
But here's the thing. I asked Kid this that day, and I'll ask it again. Are you worried about Danilo Gallinari blocking your shot?
Not at all. Not at all.
Did I miss this Danilo Gallinari block party that was happening the last 10 years?
In my mind, if I'm putting myself in a professional athlete's shoes, the last thing I'm allowing anybody I'm protecting my confidence. Because at any position, your confidence in your own game and what you can I know, like at the base of everything, if you take certain things away, no matter how a defender is on me or how they're scheming me, it's certain things I can do that can't nobody stop. Somebody can stop him shooting because that's a new skill he's trying to get. But taking like him not having confidence in his athleticism or him turning defense into offense, go back to that.
Yeah. I think that's the crazy part with Ben Simmons, because it's like when I look at it, like I don't know if it's just new NBA. and like mugs just don't do it no more, but it's like, anybody remember when Brian used to just say slow me down if you can and just go to the bucket and take people with him?
He like take one step inside the three, back it all the way up,
how much does Ben Simmons weigh? Am I mistaken? Ain't Ben Simmons about 255?
255. No, he's a big dude. He's a big dude.
Is he really that?
Ben Simmons is 6'10".
Ben Simmons is 6'10", bro.
Then that even my point stands even further.
That's my
wait. How tall did you think he was?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. Even the way he doesn't play like a person that's that big, that has no dimensions.
He does when he's confident, though. That's the thing. When you see Ben Simmons confident, like to me, Ben Simmons, I've bashed Ben Simmons for a lot of things.
Bro, they was talking about him like he was like 6'4", 210.
But here's the thing, because in the playoffs he was playing like that. When Ben Simmons is going, Ben Simmons is a force going to the bucket. It is scary. Ben Simmons don't he got like 40-point games where literally the entire game is him facilitating, getting the ball back, yamming that mug. Like, I don't know what happened to like dudes just being like, I'm bigger than you.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do to stop me from getting there.
I just remember.
By the way, Ben Simmons was born in 96. He just made 25. Ben Simmons has grown to 6'11", 240 pounds.
Yeah.
So let's put this into perspective. He carries his weight a lot better. Well, he's more muscular from appearance wise than Kevin Durant. He's a steal champion, 2-time all defensive, all NBA, 1 rookie of the year. All this was in relatively the last 4 years. Let's mind you. It's a 3-time All-Star. Ben Simmons is a freaking good player.
Man, Philly ruined him. Ain't no way.
Philly didn't ruin Ben Simmons.
No, ain't no way I'm letting a team relegate me with those dimensions to shooting the ball.
Nobody told him he had to shoot.
No one told him to shoot.
Nobody told him he had to shoot.
Everybody.
No, they didn't.
It only took the internet telling him that he needed to shake him off his game.
You know what messed Ben Simmons up? Joel Embiid said he should have dunked that basketball. He felt like he shouldn't have said that. Joel Embiid went out in the post-game show after and he said, I really just feel like if we get that bucket, we get the momentum on our side. Ben Simmons ain't even played a game since then, I don't think.
Joel earned the right to actually say that too, because Joel put it all on the line.
So he's sensitive is his issue.
Yes.
He's very sensitive.
That's it.
And you also got to look at it like this. Basketball wasn't that kid's first sport.
What's his first sport?
I don't know about that one. I don't know if he was playing soccer first.
Rugby?
Basketball wasn't like, from what I've heard, what I've researched, he's been having these diva issues since he was in college.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Man was out there playing rugby.
Yeah, you know, basketball was just something he kind of stumbled into. And that's what I've noticed this. A lot of football players are players who were like mediocre in other sports.
Yeah,
maybe had the opportunity to be stars. They come into basketball, they dominate.
All tight ends. Every tight end, Julius Peppers, was literally on a national championship team, wasn't he?
Nah, that's
I think Pep won a national championship in the NBA. He played power forward.
Travis Kelce.
You know what I'm saying? Most of them was in the NFL are failed basketball players. Even, bro, like it's coming to baseball now. Tim Anderson is a basketball player that was like, I don't think I'm gonna make the NBA, y'all. And you know what? It works great for baseball. I seen they tried to line a ball over his head. The man jumped about 5 feet in the sky
to trip
and snatched that mug.
That's crazy that you can trip into football, an American sport. You can trip into baseball, American sport. But there's no way you could trip into something like soccer.
No,
there's no way.
I'll be honest with you. Football's different. Football, if you have the physicality and athleticism, you can learn to get into that sport. There's a lot of people that just were freak athletes that learned how to play that sport. But Tim Anderson is a freak of nature. I understand that.
No, yeah.
Tim Anderson is a hit champ, and he ain't been playing baseball like that.
Yeah,
that's
for him
not
to hit that
baseball's not an easy game.
Completely his athleticism and hand-eye.
Yeah, but Tim Anderson is
baseball's not my sport. I didn't
2021. I think he's the hit champ for 2021.
I'm such a casual on baseball.
No, it's fine.
I got my two teams. I'm Cubs and Yankees.
The thing is with Tim Anderson is that like Tim Anderson hits like Javi Baez.
Yeah.
But a million times better. Like Tim Anderson does not walk.
But that's
Tim Anderson does not. He takes like one walk a week.
That's where you can tell with a baseball player.
That's not normal.
How long they've been playing baseball and how they play defense. If you look at Javi's
been playing his whole life.
He practiced with both hands, how to throw, everything like that. That's how amazing he is. Same with Wilson.
I'm buying a Javi jersey.
Bro,
I got the Javi Cubs jersey. I'm buying the Javi Mets jersey.
Listen. Hey, listen. You still gotta take it with you. He hitting 201. But the thing.
Listen. He made me want to watch baseball again.
Javi Baez made tagging a thing,
bro.
Javi Baez is the best tagger I've ever seen. That wasn't a thing before Javi Baez.
And not for nothing, stealing bases. How are you sliding and you swim past the tag?
I've seen
to get in.
I've seen a lot of dudes do that.
Bro,
Ichiro was a guy.
I say that, but but Ichiro played.
Barry Bonds was great.
But he played at a time when you can mow down a catcher. I now cannot run through a catcher.
Ichiro weigh what he weigh. Who's Ichiro?
I understand.
Hey, but you gotta think about it like this. Javi does it with such flair and swag.
He do.
That it just brings all this excitement back to the game of basketball.
The funny, I'll say this. Javi may be the swaggiest baseball player of all time. And I know a lot of people gonna come with different names and stuff. I'll say this. Javi's not a good baseball player. Javi's a great defender, but he's a second baseman that can't hit. When he makes contact with the ball, it may go a long way, but he don't make contact. Like, think about this.
He's streaky.
Think about this. Think about this. If you were a coach and you watched a dude swing at pitches consistently that are 10 inches outside the strike zone, would you want that guy on your team?
I know that's disrespectful.
We finished our walk.
Take Javi out of it. Not Javi.
I know, but we're talking about.
We finished our walking mugs just to get.
But it's everything that has to do with trends and like
what trend? What's the trend?
Everybody's what is it? Everybody's swinging down and
golf swing.
Yeah, enough so to hit home runs, not just to get contact.
Yeah.
And one,
but you still got to watch
the weight
pitch.
of the bat that he carries. It's almost like it's for that. He's built to hit.
That's fine.
He has made himself built to hit for home runs, not built to hit for contact.
But AD, that mean don't swing at the pitch 10 inches outside the strike zone.
I understand.
Like, you got to understand how swaggy Javi is. Javi's making a lot of money just to be swaggy.
For defense.
But defense is like being able
They don't pay second basemans for defense what Javi's making.
But defense is very much an underrated skill.
But
in baseball,
I'll
we
give you
prioritize hitting over defense.
I'll give you that.
I will say this. This is his worst year. Though.
Javi was Gordon Beckham was a great defender.
I can't hit for nothing.
He hit the same that Javi's hit, and he just didn't hit him as far. He's a 200 career, maybe 230 career hitter.
It's just
this is Javi's worst season so far. So I don't want to. And then the season's not over. Right. So these stats can slide. I mean, if you really look at it, for the most part, outside of his first season in Chicago in the 2020 season, he's like on par with Aaron Judge as far as average is concerned.
What do you like, What?
And you do know that Aaron Judge got 32 home runs right now, right?
No, not the Yankees are having an unbelievable season this year. I'm not even counting.
No, Aaron Judge's career is .277.
What average are we talking about? What average are we talking about?
His batting average.
His batting average?
His career batting average. Aaron Judge is .277. Javi Baez
that's probably facts, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, his career.
Because Aaron Judge just hit more dingers.
Yo, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And Javi needs I'm not gonna be the best. No. One of the better the lineup in which he's hitting around. If you can pitch around Javi, then he's not gonna eat. But that 2016 lineup with the Cubs, they had to pitch to him.
Hey, Steph was about to fall out the chair. He was about to say, "What? No, dog. I know what I'm talking about."
Listen, this my thing. I'm just. Javi's had realistically one great year.
Which was what? 2018?
290 batting average, 176 hits, 111 runs batted in, 101 runs on himself, 30, 29 home runs.
I thought 2015 was his best year because he was cooking.
2015 was.
No, 2015, he had just got there. He's hitting 289, but he had just got there.
No, because 2018, that's when Mike Trout and Bryce was up for contract. And these mugs went in talking about something. Yeah, we got the money, but don't look for us to,
That's the copies.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen, I'm just saying. You look at these numbers.
I cannot obsess over that. The billionaire problems.
Hey, listen. There's nothing about his numbers that say bad baseball player.
I'll say this. No matter what you say, there's nothing about these numbers that say 140 million.
What are you talking about?
There's nothing about these numbers that say bad baseball player. What he does on defense, that's what it does.
Bro, but kid, this is the thing. You're looking at the numbers, and I watch the game.
Hey, dog, listen. That's literally my favorite player in baseball right now.
You can defend him all you want.
I'm not gonna let you kill him.
I watch the games.
No, but look,
hey, look, and now I get to see him. What? 12 times a year.
See him a lot more playing the Sox.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. That's not a good baseball player.
The thing is,
he's a great defender. He's a great defender.
Pitching is a lot different. NL, look at who he was facing. AL, I will say pitching
worse.
But that's what I'm saying. AL pitching is a lot different to me. If you look at the style in which pitchers play in the AL, it is a lot different than the NL.
He's not worth $20 million a year is what you trying to tell me?
No, but look, that's why I say data is so important in baseball because look at how many games they play. Look at how many games they play, and that's why that average is so important.
Hey, kid. This is what I want you to do. I don't even know it. I don't even know. Tell me what Javi's last 10 games look like.
Oh, they horrible. They're horrible. I know what they are. They're horrible.
I haven't even looked.
Average is like 0.2. It's like 0.215. Like I get it. I get it.
Hey, listen.
Last 10 games, horrible.
Hey, but let him get hot, man.
To be played.
Let him get hot.
And that's the funny thing about Javi, right? Javi will get hot for a month.
Bro,
and it'll make his average for the season.
But that is so long.
Javi will hit
month in baseball.
Javi will hit 400 for a month,
bro. Month in baseball.
And Muggs will look at the numbers and be like, "How are you not paying him $20 million a year?" And it's like, because the rest of the season,
it'll be the hottest. It'll be the hottest.
I mean,
and that's crazy.
So he got 30. He got 300 at bats so far, 35 RBIs, 64 hits, 30 runs.
35 ribbies ain't bad.
That's not bad.
35 ribbies ain't
halfway through the season.
35.
He's also on a bad team though. He's on a bad team.
I'm saying
he's on a bad team. There's not a lot of dudes getting on ahead of him. But
they just mad young.
What I will say is that the batting average matters most. Not as much, right? Like batting average is kind of an antiquated
who's
stat.
in that division?
We're having a very old baseball conversation. Like his batting average is it. Like batting average is a very antiquated stat when you talk about it. But the stat that you really want to look at is his OBPS.
OBPS.
What's his OBPS right now, kid?
Hold on.
I look at WHIP too.
He's not a pitcher.
No, I'm not WHIP, but what's the other one? It's not WHIP. It's the
wins above replacement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
His WAR.
His
WAR. Sorry. I know it was something with it.
He said, I look at whip too. I'm like, huh?
But I will.
You said, what is his what?
That's wins with hitters in
yeah.
You said, what is his what?
His OBPS.
We going way into some stuff now. Hey, this is why this is your sport right here. What the fuck are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. Don't
go
worry
ahead and look that up, dog, because I don't know what I'm.
Don't worry about
I got
I can already tell you it ain't good, probably.
But what is his WAR?
It says 52. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
No. I'm looking at the wrong season.
Let me see.
78. I don't know what that means.
With his WAR. You looking at his OBPS? That's what you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking at. It says 78. Then I'm looking at the wrong thing.
If you're looking at his OBPS, no, that's the right thing. I'm trying to see what.
Or you're looking at OBP.
Wait. Were you looking at OBS?
No, I was looking at OPS.
Oh, okay. All right. His OPS. Well, that's it.
You got to break it down.
626.
You're going to have to break this. Hey, listen. I'm such a casual, dog. I'm such a casual. I'm letting you know now. Don't sit there and come to me for baseball. I know just enough about my favorite players to stay in the conversation for 5 minutes. That's not the 5 minutes.
Baseball, the stats get because they record a lot.
So basically,
after 5 minutes, I'm done.
Your OBP is how often
your on base percentage.
It's your on base percentage. It's how often you get on base. What is it? Which one is it?
OBPS.
OBPS is how often you get on base overall. So I think OBP is based on if you hit the ball or not. OBPS is based on if you it takes walks into account.
Your mic's messing up, dog.
You said what?
Your mic's messing up.
My mic's messing up. Do I sound good here? Test.
Sound good now, but it's like as soon as you lean back or something like that, it's like the cord is loose or something.
Is it messing up now?
No, you good.
I don't like how I was doing this motion here for that. That was
it's a really weird motion for you to keep doing.
Yes.
Hey, listen, we just got. How did we get down a nerd baseball conversation? Off of talking about the Bulls. I don't even know how we got
there. Is nothing to talk about sports related that matters right now. So
while that's true, I don't know how we got here. But listen, Javi Baez ain't a good baseball player.
We could talk about how Skip Bayless is a permanent fixture of LeBron James' legacy, just like Nick Wright is, but just on different sides of it.
No, that's true. Different sides of it.
That's crazy.
No, that's funny, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. We got deep in a baseball conversation, and I'm sitting here arguing that Javi Baez isn't a good player.
He is a great player,
and I'm sitting here with 3 Cubs fans, so nobody want to believe me. Like,
I don't believe it. He's a good player.
He's a great player. Thank you very much. I'm a Javi fan.
He may not always be great, but he's definitely a great defender. He's worth that $20 million a year. Pay that man his money. Pay him his money. Put him.
He's worth $20
I'm glad he got
million a year. Y'all are hilarious, man.
Hold on, real quick. I just want to say, I was looking at these divisions.
Somebody believed it. They gave it to him.
So the Yankees are up in the AL East, of course. They're 13 games.
Yeah,
that's because of
the Twins. The AL Central is pretty tight though. They're just the White Sox are one game behind the Guardians, and they're 2 games behind the Twins. And the Tigers are 12 games out. So yeah, we're not worried about that. And then of course the AL West
OBP is 251.
I'm not even looking at the Cubs because we're 14 and a half games out.
His OBP is 251.
It's gonna be to the Bruce.
He get on base
20
once out of every 4 at bats, and what's that extrapolate out to? Basically, like 2 point something times every 10 times he goes up to the plate. Whew. He gets on base.
Okay,
that's not good.
Hey, my sleeper team in the AL wild card is definitely Toronto, the Blue Jays. I like them.
This is a part of the podcast that everyone tunes out because.
There's nobody left in the chat. It's all good though. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's get back into some basketball, man. Let's see if we can get this.
If we actually started talking hockey, look how many people.
Oh man, that'd be the end of the show.
Full rebuild going on with the Blackhawks.
Here's another question for y'all though. Pertaining to the Bulls, what were y'all summer league takeaways? Don't play your highest draft pick on the last game. Yeah, that's definitely a takeaway for sure. Although the update on Dalen Terry's fine.
I mean, it's clear it wasn't because
it was a right hamstring. He just slipped. It was a non-contact.
You know.
I mean, I would have played. I mean, if they didn't get blown out, well, they lost to the Knicks, so that's the reason why they didn't get to play in the championship.
And who they were off that percentage or the point
off of points. Do you like the point system?
It's so weird.
No, I don't.
Don't that mean like? Because then before
they took a turn, it used to be a tournament.
Yeah, but I know
they took the tournament.
They used to have it like you had to score a certain amount of points every quarter. So Muggs was just trying to run it up, and then like whoever had the most points in the tournament, like that's who would get in, and then they would just go from there. Because I for sure thought the Bulls was gonna be playing today. And then somebody was like, "Nah, they lost to the Knicks. They got blown out by the Knicks, so the Knicks is in there." I was just like, "Oh, okay."
I'll say this: my biggest thing from it, boy, it's a spider just coming out the side, man. Disrespectful. What's going on, brother?
Better you than me. I would.
Hey, bro, I'm just what the world?
I would have flipped the chair like you did.
The perks of having the basement studio. I'll say this right about summer league, right? And the thing, I don't take anything major away from this because you got to see these guys do it on a bigger scale, and I don't think that this is the scale to do it on at all. But the intangibles that are taken away, I feel like the Bulls got a lot of nice pieces out of this. Kind of going back to the roster conversation, right? And ranking them. Even we never finished that conversation. We got to do a better job. This is on air. Producer talk here. We got to do a better job finishing topics, and we also got to do a better job of letting each other talk. We are terrible at both. We are some Negroes in this mug. We are.
That's why people tune in. They want to be a part of the barbershop talk.
Hey, but listen,
we got here, baby.
Hey, but listen,
we don't finish no conversations.
Don't nobody want to keep coming to the show and they not getting a happy ending. You know what I mean?
We don't finish no conversations. They kicking it with the boys.
Relax there, brother. Relax. You take a step back there, Deshaun.
I think that's my time on that one. This went off the rails right there. All right.
No, but I mean, listen. We gotta finish our topics. At least let's finish one topic, and then we'll move on.
So how about this? Everyone, where do you rank the Bulls this season? Don't go through just where you rank.
That conversation's dead already. But we all gave our rank. I said top 3. You said top 5 or 6.
I said top 3.
You said top 3. He said top 3.
I said top 5.
Top 5. He said top 5.
All right. Boom. All right, now we move to the next subject.
Hey, the weird part is, right, out of anybody, we probably need to be listening to Steph most, because Steph just be saying stuff on some joking stuff, and it actually end up happening.
No,
he be pissing me off.
The Bulls thing with the 5 win. No,
I gotta find that.
Was sincerely.
That was a morning show. I gotta find that, bro.
That was sincerely a joke.
That man said they gonna win 6 games.
Hey,
are we gonna start something similar to like the sticky note thing that Ernie does?
We did. He did it. It was a balled up piece of paper.
He was doing it, and then bought it like
it's in a notebook. It's in one of my notebooks. I still got it.
Hey, that mug had me dying because he said, Steph, you ain't got us winning.
I'm gonna have it for tomorrow's show.
He said, Steph, you ain't got us winning no games. Like the Bulls just gonna be trash the second half of the season. Steph was like, nah, I don't think y'all got it. I ain't seen y'all do it versus good teams. He was off by 1 game.
There's nothing that they've done in the second half of the season to show me that they should be at least playing in the playoffs. Or these mugs not gonna be at least around the play-in.
Man was off by 1 game. I was pissed.
I do got a summer league take for you though.
What's your summer league take?
I really would like to see how Marco does against some larger, tougher,
physical
forwards and centers. Because that second game against the Knicks, it's like he really just kind of has some leftover like start a team stuff. Like he won't run down a court if he either not getting a ball or if he doesn't get a call. So it's just like that little stuff they need to work out. But that's my biggest thing. I'm like, okay, cool. You're not calling for the ball. Like I think we mentioned that before in a previous show. Like you're not gonna be able to go down there and just call for the ball. Hopefully he'll mesh with that second unit and see what's up. But like you got like this is a team thing up here when you get called to the show. It's not like you can't like if you're not gonna get the ball every possession and you're not gonna get every call because you're a rook.
Though you're not gonna get no calls. The one thing that's gonna be interesting to see with Marco, right, to me is gonna be how does the one takeaway I'll say from Summer League that is legit is he's going to be playing with people that are actually on his team. So you're playing with Dalen Terry. You're playing with Justin Lewis, right? How do those guys, all right, Bell, how do those guys impact the season early playing with Marco, right? Marco's got that step ahead. Is Marco going to be able to, be that 10-10 guy? And how does that impact Dalen Terry's game? How does that impact, why can't I think of Buddy's name? How does that impact Io's game? How does that impact, the rest of the bench, right? And where do you see them fitting best? I think the big thing, right, for me with the takeaway is that this team, 2 things that I said on Locked On Bulls. 1, this team had legitimate talent that wanted to be in Chicago, that are young players, and that tells you all you need to know about this Bulls team, right? Like where this team is at, how this team has gotten better, how this team is moving in the right direction. Because I thought back to like the Denzel Valentine Bulls and like the Antonio Blakeney Bulls, and it's like, who are y'all? Like we don't know. We don't even know the rest of the mugs on this team, to be honest with you. So like to me, right, I'm looking at this as a situation where you're talking about a Bulls team where Makur Maker on a regular year could make this team. Malcolm Hill could make this team. Carlick Jones could make this team, right? There was a bunch of names on this Bulls team in Summer League that you would be like, hey, if we kept him, I would be cool with that. I wouldn't be mad at that. I would like that. And so like I think that really is something that the Bulls have that they can hang their hat on, and that that really fits well with this team. And the other takeaway for me that I had is that you got to understand, right? These are bench pieces. You're not hoping these guys are in the starting lineup. I don't want to see half of these. I don't want Malcolm Hill to be on the team. Like, I want him on the team as a 2-way, but like on the Windy City Bulls, if Malcolm Hill is on the Bulls, we're in trouble. That means somebody's hurt. That means Lonzo's not starting the season. There could be some issues there. We don't know what's going on with that, right? But all of those things could play in. But like as bench pieces, like, yeah, I don't expect Marko Simonovic to come in and give me 25 and 16. But off the bench, can you give me 10 and 8? Not 10 and 3. You can't give me 10 and 3. 10 and 8. Now you're talking about a Bulls team that goes from one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA, one of the worst bench scoring teams in the NBA, to one of the best. That makes a huge difference for this team.
Yeah, I think my two takeaways with it is the fact that I think that somehow, some way, Dalen Terry is gonna get minutes, and I think he's gonna have a very Marcus Smart type rookie year. I looked up Marcus Smart's numbers. His first year, he had I think he had it was a little over 8 or 9 if I'm not mistaken, but he shot like 25%.
Yeah,
but the steals and everything were there. I think that when I look at his game, he reminds me a lot of him in his rookie year because he's around the ball. He like his defensive instincts is crazy. Like you could see that jumping right off the page. Like the first couple games, like you seen that his defensive instincts, where the ball is crazy. He has to get a little bit better with his passing, but AK said the whole team was like that. I think they had like 42 turnovers or 41 turnovers in the first 2 games. I think he's gonna be more of a contributor than Marco will be probably this season. And my second takeaway is McCormaker somehow, some way needs a 2-way contract.
Man,
because that's another one. I'm telling y'all, I know we don't keep track of episodes, and y'all don't like listening to me when I'm right.
That wasn't on an episode though.
That was on an episode.
Nah, that was when you was just talking to my dad on that one.
No, I said that on the show, and he was in the basement. He was in the basement. This one we was at the old crib. This one we was at your old crib.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. He was listening. He was listening while we was doing the show.
Yeah, he was listening. But yeah, nah, somehow, some way, I think he needed a 2-way contract. Like, cause the thing that I'm gonna tell you, like, cause I see him all the time, and especially on Twitter, and they be hitting Stacey with it too, like, Bulls need to go out and get Bobo this, and this. Everything that Bobo was supposed to do, McCormaker didn't show, but he showed flashes like, hey, this dude, when you give him the rock, that's how you supposed to handle the ball. Like that's how you can shoot, and he know
that's how you shoot. From now on, that's how you shoot.
Yo, exactly. So when you talk about a guy like that, and Stacey tweeted it out, like, I don't think you can let him walk out of the building without giving him a solid look.
Yeah.
You absolutely get that man that 2-way contract.
I wouldn't be mad at McCormaker on a 2-way. The tough part about it is I would give it to him over, unless you can outright sign him, right? I would give it to him over Malcolm Hill. The only thing for Malcolm Hill is that Malcolm Hill's been here. Malcolm Hill had a heck of a summer league. He's definitely improved his game to me. And Malcolm Hill's been in the NBA already. Now McCormaker, and here's the interesting thing, right? Like, how's the G League? This is the most exciting part of it to me. When I look at what AK is doing with this team and how AK is building this team out, right? My biggest thing is, how are you going to use the G League? And he's using it like it is a minor league system. And I love that. Malcolm Hill is going to be there. Malcolm Hill might not get a 2-way deal. Now, he's already got the QO out there for it. But if they pull that and give it to somebody else, I wouldn't be mad at it. McCormaker's what? 5 years younger than him? 4 years younger than him, something like that, right? So you're talking about a player who's going to be able to come out and legitimately develop in your system. You're talking about now guys being used in that development system. You got Justin Lewis on there. You hope he develops into a 4 for you. You've got McCormaker. I would love to see him be a 5 if you can sign him to a straight up Windy City Bulls deal, right? And the only question mark on keeping Malcolm Hill for me is that Malcolm Hill's already played in the NBA. He's already got time on the team. He's already got time with the team. He's already played with these guys because of COVID last season. And the more important piece for you to have heading into a game is to have your guy that's setting everything up, maybe, than that crazy great big man. And we don't know if McCormaker is going to be great one way or the other, but like, is the better upside to have a solid point guard that you can bring up and down over having a big man that maybe you're bringing up and down, right? Like McCormaker, realistically, you're hoping neither of these guys get time in the NBA this season. I don't want to see Justin Lewis. I want to see Justin Lewis. But if I want to see a team winning, I don't want to see Justin Lewis and I don't want to see Malcolm Hill. If I see either of those two guys, that means that the injuries have happened and that they're piling up for a long term.
Or we're blowing teams out.
No, because I want them to be on the Windy City Bulls. So they won't be in the stadium.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, so like,
because we get 42.
We're talking about we're talking about a two-way deal. I'm not talking about him being on the main roster. So I think somebody's probably going to offer McCormaker a deal for a two-way on somebody else's team, and we're probably going to lose him. But I would love to get. That was a great point. I would love to get McCormaker in here.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go out and like average, 20 or 15 and shoot the lights off the ball, but. I mean, he looked like a solid. I would even go to say like borderline starter kind of ish. Like if you give me 17 and 10 with the handle that he got, if he actually develops, like if he gets like no playing time, and then you go out and develop him because he's still only 20, and then he comes back with all those skills that he already has, this man might be able to go crazy.
No, I would love a McCormaker on this team. I feel like he would be a nice asset too, and I think it's about making future moves as well. That's where it's gonna come in. It's about making future moves as well. And if you're making the right moves for your future, you know what I'm saying? You can never go wrong with that to me. And that's what it boils down to, right? How are they gonna use these guys in the G League? So that's gonna be the interesting thing to see, man. Honestly, that's gonna be the interesting thing to see. What else do we have on the docket today, man? We already got into some baseball talks. I don't know if we want to just dive back into that. But what else was it? Takeaways. No, we talked about who would you choose to get that last two-way just then. Did y'all pay any attention at all to the Drew League?
I did. I'm kind of mad at the NBA app because like
I did hear that it was on the NBA app, but not really.
I canceled it, but then after that, just because LeBron shows up and it's the Drew, we gonna put it on the NBA app. But I'm not finna pay $25.
In the offseason,
watch the Drew League game. Like I'm not doing it.
I watched it on YouTube.
I
just went and watched it on YouTube. Hey, it was legit like watching a bootleg movie though. Like every now and then a head got in the way. Wow. Hey, bro, sit down, bro. Come on, brother. I'm trying to see the game here. You know what the most sad thing to me was? Watching the amount of people just doing this.
Oh yeah, with the phone.
Like nobody lives in the moment anymore. Nobody lives for the moment. Nobody's living in the time where like, okay, like this is happening right now.
Because it wasn't even that focused on watching the game. I think that was the point. Like you trying to get a clip for
your TikTok or your YouTube.
Your TikTok, just to say you was there. Like you not really understanding. Like yo, LeBron is in the G League. This is the first time he did this since the lockout in 2011. So to have him and DeMar playing together and they both went crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you say that you see that every day? Like you can. So like
I get like having the video is the important thing. Like having I was there, and of course on social media, right? Like I probably would have took a couple of videos to show that I'm there.
I would have too, but I mean
warm-ups maybe, and then at the game I'd actually watch the game.
I might have took a couple of plays. Like there's enough plays in the game for you to take a couple. I probably would have took a couple of plays, but I'm talking about every time LeBron touched the ball.
Hey man.
And I was like, bro, y'all, you realize, right? Like you're watching, for you to get a video and a good video, you're watching LeBron play through your screen.
Yeah.
Instead of watching LeBron play 20 feet away from you. Like you're never going to get it. Like, you know how expensive it is to see LeBron that close?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, and to tell you how dirt cheap them tickets is, like,
they might have upped the bag for them. I don't know about that. They might have upped the bag for them.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. As soon as you hear LeBron is coming. I heard Kyrie skipped out on it, though. Wasn't Kyrie supposed to be there, too?
Did you see what the Drew League president said?
Nah.
That man was like, Yeah, he was scheduled to play, but you know how Kyrie be, so
shady, bruh. This man mad shady.
Wow, like, you know how Kyrie be. He changed his mind last minute, so
he's not wrong, though.
But you know,
in the grand scheme of it all,
like, hey, bro, I'm kind of scheduled playing. Do I really want to go?
Who team was he supposed to be on? Was he on the other team?
I don't know.
He didn't want to see.
He was supposed to play the game after.
Oh, he was supposed to play in a different game?
Yeah, he was supposed to play in the game after.
Hey,
I think they run like 3-4 games. It's kind of like Vegas Summer League. Like you pay for the ticket, run 3-4 games.
It's such a, I don't know, bro. Like Drew League is interesting to me. I don't take nothing away from it. I love all the dudes that get like the clips on NBA players though. Like everybody was freaking out like, oh, Debo got beat by, or he got in the head of, or somebody got in his head. It was this dude talking trash. And I was like, bro, y'all got to understand at the NBA level, nobody talks garbage to Debo like that.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking trash to Debo like that. Like you've never seen, like show me, like maybe if they get in a fight or something, but who's talking trash to him like that? Like, you know, he was like, bro, you in the league, bro, you ain't nothing, you hit this. And then, by the way, Debo proceeded to drop 30. But like he got his moment, right? Like you'll always get that moment where you get to say, I did this against DeMar DeRozan. Like that validates you, right? Like Buddy, who's Buddy that came down? I don't know none of the players outside of the NBA pros, by the way. So no disrespect to none of y'all. But Buddy came down, got in the paint, stop, turn around, spin, fade, pull up, cash. Bron kept going. I said, oh, he's telling his grandkids about that. Yep, you better keep this story going in your legacy for the rest of my life. I mean, remember when I mixed LeBron?
I mean, that's really how I gotta be though.
But this is the exact setting for that level of trash talk, because again, it's a pickup. It's the closest thing that the NBA players will get to a pickup game, because practice you have to take seriously, because that it's points from tape and coaching and schemes that you're actually practicing. An NBA game, like you're playing, ultimately everybody gonna play, you're gonna see seriously in a couple games, like, you know what I'm saying, later in the season or during the playoffs. So it's really like, it's certain buttons you don't want to press. But in a pickup game, or like exactly where Drew League is, like that's the perfect time to really like get your stuff off and talk as much crap as you can, because like that's the epitome of living in the moment. Cool. When am I gonna be guarding DeMar DeRozan? Like let me do exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get my stuff up. Like I'm gonna try to do everything I can.
Yeah. Pull
out all the stops. Like pull out all the tricks in my game to make him guard me. But I'm gonna guard him and I'm gonna press him. And whatever he say, I'm chirping right back. Like that's like a theme in the Drew League. Like they want all the smoke. Like that's all I can.
And that's the thing. When are you gonna get allowed to talk that level of trash and not get a technical foul?
Right.
I mean. But you know what too though, I think the cool thing is, and Katie tweeted this after the LeBron game, because he was like, Adam Silver needs to take note of this experience, and I guess build off of that. I don't know like technically what he meant totally by that, but because these mugs is just going around, because you got to think about it. These mugs is going around because it's not just the Drew, even though that's one of the more high profile things. I mean, you got the Drew League, Jay crossover that him and DeJounte Murray run, in the summertime, that they really, whoever retires, they just hand it down, and so on and so forth. Because I think it's Lou Wills now, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you talking about when KD retweeted Rob Perez tweet?
Yeah. I
don't know. He dropped it with this face on it. I don't know if that's the. Rob Perez said, "Dear NBA, you want people to care about your midseason tournament. Let the popularity of this Drew League game serve as an example, and host it at iconic basketball locations, gyms, parks throughout the country. Capture the magic of the Rose Bowl, but basketball." I don't agree with it.
Nah, people gonna watch any basketball that you put up there.
Here's the thing. You don't got to worry about fans caring about it, because we're going to watch basketball. I'm a live call the game. Y'all going to be sitting there live calling the game with me. We're all going to be watching this game. Like it's not a surprise for us, right?
Right.
You got to make the players care. Why does LeBron James care about a midseason tournament? Why does DeMar DeRozan? Why does Joel Embiid? Why do they care about this midseason tournament that's supposed to like change the landscape of it? And I'm fine with it, right? But like you got to think about it, right? Like EPL and stuff like that. Midseason tournament has meaning. Yeah. You play that midseason tournament, like you're guaranteed to be in whatever the EPL championship or whatever.
But honestly,
I don't know nothing about soccer, but I know that the midseason tournaments have meaning for your playoff lives, right? So like for me, I'm like, you want to really if you're gonna do it, you got to go all in.
True.
Or otherwise, you're doing like the what's the WNBA's?
The
Commissioner's Cup. Otherwise, you're doing it like the Commissioner's Cup, where like, yeah, the Sky won the Commissioner's Cup. You know what they did after? Hey, good job, man. Yeah, appreciate you. Shout out to you. Yeah, love. I mean, like it didn't mean nothing. Like it just doesn't mean anything.
Make it, the WNBA probably try to look like a playoff preview. Like, okay, we take the first one from each conference and like, okay, cool.
Which is fine, right? And I like that. But the thing is, right, he's talking about doing a mid-season. Commissioner Cup's one game.
Yeah.
If I beat you in it, we the best team halfway through this, blah, 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 right? This is a tournament, mid-season tournament, single elimination. And here's the thing. It's coming. They've got the rules set for it. It's coming.
I think that should have...
They're talking about 2023, 2024 season.
I think it should have a direct bearing on your seeding.
Me too. I said if you win it, you can't drop below a 5th seed.
Oh, I say you jump off a certain seed.
I think that's what
you get to knock off. You get to knock off a...
See, here's the tough part, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't know how soccer does it, but isn't there a league that is separate,
like Champions League?
So you play like the first half of the season. Somebody in the
first leg of the season.
You play the first leg of the season. You play the tournament.
First leg of the season. My fault for not.
And if you win the tournament, you're guaranteed to be in the playoff or the major championship playoffs, but then you also get a higher seeding in the second half of the season, something like that. Yeah. Like you have to come up with, you have to change how the NBA standings are.
I think
100%.
To me,
you can't do it.
To me, I think the biggest thing with it is, I think what they should do is, I'm all for the mid-season tournament, and I'm all for KD saying that it needs to be at specific locations, because I think that would be cool.
Well, that was Rob Perez that said that. KD didn't say that.
I mean, yeah, Rob Perez, my fault. I think that'll be cool. I think the thing with that is, I think that it'll be decent if you have more basketball year round. Well, because even though we got the big three, you telling me the only way I'm doing this mid-season tournament, I got to at least take 2 months off to see, at least a month off after.
Oh, you saying? Well, it's a single elimination tournament, and it's supposed to count just as your regular season games that you would regularly play.
All right, so give me 2 weeks off.
Why? It's still 82 games. It's not adding games. It's literally the middle of your season. Like how the Skies win in the championship cup counts on their record. Mm-hmm. It's literally playing games that you would have played in the regular season, except it's a tournament day instead of regular games. Like it makes sense with the schedule, which I'm gonna be real with you. I would be fine with something like that where you do get basketball year round. But what I'm saying is, right, for you to do that kind of thing, you have to make a drastic change for that to work. A drastic change of the schedule. You have to literally say, because otherwise, right, why does LeBron care? LeBron's in year 20. Why does LeBron care about a mid-season championship?
As long as you make it, it's going to sound crazy, but as long as you make it fun. Like if you don't make it stressful for the players, where like it's not like a back-to-back situation, because that's what irks the players the most. Like the back-to-backs or back-to-back-to-backs like that they didn't like. Or even like
4 and 5 nights or whatever it is.
As long as you make it fun for them, I don't see why they wouldn't want to play like that.
I mean, the crazy part about it is, to me, like, I think what they're trying to do, I think they want to do the mid-season tournament, but it's coming.
It's coming. It's probably coming next season.
It's kind of like they don't want to, copy off of the of college basketball, because you know how they be having like this is like before the season,
the ACC tournament, or
it'll be like, oh, you know, Duke is gonna play Kentucky at like the Maui Invitational.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Oh, at the very beginning of the season, like the Hawaii invitation.
They mean nothing. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like it still matters. It still matters for your seeding. It's still, if you lose a game, right, and you were 24-15, and the Miami Heat were 24-15, and you lose and they win. Now you changing the seeding. But I think the difference with it is, to me, like I'm looking at it as, if it's in the middle of the season, which that's when it's supposed to be. And this, I mean, is this something that's going to replace the All-Star game first off? Which I'm kind of fine with either way. I honestly would be. I would be very fine with it.
Wow.
The All-Star game is, they've run out of ideas to make it entertaining. If no one that we know is going to do the dunk contest, Steph Curry's going to win the 3-point contest. Or Cat won it last year. Like the 3-point contest was the best contest.
I mean, I think they need to switch that.
And even the game is,
give me 4 NBA, give me 4 WNBA for the 3-point.
But even that, like I don't care. I
mean, it'll be
now you're doing men versus women. That turns into a whole beef between all. Yeah, you don't want to get into that. It's 2022, brother. It's 2022. You don't want to get into men versus women, and then it's gonna be like you gotta. I don't know. But for me, right, like it's one of them things where I'm fine with the tournament replacing the All-Star game, but like, why would LeBron? Well, LeBron barely wants to play in the All-Star game.
Man legitimately start playing the last 2 minutes of the game.
He plays more than that, but like these must legit barely want to play in the All-Star game. Like you're going through the NBA All-Star game has become baseball's All-Star game. Go out there, don't get hurt.
But NBA All-Star MVP means something still.
To who?
To the players. It do. It means something.
AD.
It do.
It did mean who did it mean something to this year?
It means something.
No, it meant something to somebody this year. They was trying real hard to get it.
Didn't they?
Was it Giannis? I think it was Giannis.
Giannis was trying to get it, but didn't Joel want it too?
No, Steph won it. Steph won the MVP. No, that's what it was. But again, right? It's the first year of it. It was the first year that it was Kobe's.
Yeah.
It was the first year that it was called the Kobe Bryant Award, so everybody wanted to win it first year. I don't even know if we'll see him play that hard next year.
Because Steph was going game.
Steph got it. Yeah, I mean, like Steph got it. Steph was going crazy. So, like, to me, how do you make that tournament entertaining? I don't think there's a way to. It's the same basketball that we're going to get regular season. Unless you put some crazy stipulation on it and change the history of basketball, where we literally have to cut eras. Which could be coming. In 2023, we might have to view basketball complete. Everything before this is that era of basketball. This is the new era.
I think that's coming.
I think legitimately because
that's legitimately,
if you're taking in mid-season championships and stuff like that into account of legacy, you can't take anything into account before that.
Because you got to think,
because it's gonna mean something.
The like the Magic. Cause I think I told we had a little conversation on it. Like the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson Award. Like a couple years down the road, Muggs is gonna start counting that as like. Hey, this is like legit hardware.
He was the Eastern Conference MVP, Western Conference MVP.
Like this was legit hardware. So I mean, they already.
Do we need to do that now? Then that's kind of the thing. Do we need? Did that need to come in this year? Because you're talking about awards that never existed or mattered.
I mean, I think you got to.
Like Tatum got one. It holds no weight in my book right now, but like.
Yeah, but a couple years down the road, you'll go back and be like now there's.
So is that the 2022? Is that the hard? I don't know, because the game is still similar enough, right? Like you added an award. It's still similar enough. Like I'm sure that there's like people that there's probably a bunch of awards that didn't exist when basketball started to now. And we know we don't hold it against anybody. So like,
right.
But I think if you make such a drastic change to the leagues, scheduling what an actual, like you're talking about making a tournament, like there's going to be a championship. So if there's going to be a championship, that means that this dude now has 4 mid-season championships.
Yeah.
Do those mid-season championships mean something, or are they summer league championships? Like Brian could have went and got a summer league deal, the championship this year.
Yep. Nah, that's an actual fact, and I think, I mean, low key, I think you seen it when they was talking to the VP for I think rules changes or something.
Yeah.
I forget the total term for it, but he was just talking about. I mean, they're looking at everything. I mean, like I wouldn't be surprised if they start splitting it up, where it's like you get like you get a Western Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they started doing all of that, because if you look at it and the way that the game is going, like they're really trying to diversify to not only speed the game up, but make it more fun for the people that's coming out. Which that's what we kill the MLB for. That's what we kill, the WNBA for and stuff like that, because they're not, kind of diversifying their product or trying to build on what they already got.
Well, I think they're trying, right? But there's a lot of pushback on it. I think the NBA is the only one that's trying. Baseball's not trying. Baseball just changed like what the All-Star game meant. But baseball's really not trying.
No, it's cash
Did they
incentive.
change the stipulation this year again?
It's cash incentive
I thought it was cash
for all the dudes that got money already.
Hey, definitely.
they get like
Albert
you get a
Pujols.
with the home run derby. You win a truck.
Oh, that's the night. Nobody cared. Yeah, nobody cared about that.
No, they had
What's the night?
The home run derby. Oh, tomorrow.
No, it's not. I was gonna say the MLB draft is the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be driving.
The White Sox took. By the way, that happened while we were on the show. I guess that's technically breaking news. The White Sox took Noah Schultz from Oswego East High School. That's here.
Yeah, Oswego.
Hey.
26 pick in 2022 MLB draft. That's in Illinois, right?
Yeah. The Cubs picked the pitcher out of Oklahoma.
Jesus Christ, this kid looks like he's gonna break. Hey, y'all Google a picture of Noah Schultz.
He's at high school. He just graduated high school.
Bro, he made Chris Sale look strong.
Yeah.
Hey, now you know he looked like who's the black dude from
Stranger Things?
No, Jesus Christ, this one. What? Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
No, he's a pitcher.
Oh.
Is he from Cleveland? Like skinny, real skinny black dude. Nice pitcher though. He actually a really good pitcher, but I can't think of his name.
Talking about, but I don't know, dude. That he's a reliever. Ain't he?
Yeah, no, I think he's a starter. But I'm talking about black dude, like
Skinny.
Buddy looked like he from Harlem. I don't know why that was the black dude. That was probably racist. All the black people at my neck now just like, what do you mean? That's okay. I'm black too. Harlem also signifies blackness for us black people as well.
You fine. Yeah, he looked.
Yeah, he looked real small, bro. He don't eat much food.
He's gonna have college and the minors to bulk up.
We got anything else left on the docket that's really worth talking about?
Lamar and
Lamar Jackson
and dude.
Was that this weekend?
Yeah.
That wasn't this weekend, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Where they were beefing?
Yeah.
That was funny. I guess we didn't talk about that. Did you see that, AD?
What?
Nah, he the one that tweeted it. He sent it to us.
When where Lamar was beefing
Jackson
with
the old dude.
what is his name? Brandon.
Oh, with
Brandon Briggs or something like that.
the
Hold up. Hey, the fact that his whole family was in on it, bro.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Lamar. Yeah, bro. Where's Lamar?
He was going back with a former player, Pollard, right?
Yeah.
Hold up.
Because Buddy was like,
Bro, did he delete all the tweets? Oh, no, here we go. Bernard Pollard Jr.
Yeah, Bernard Pollard.
This from a few days ago. Well, no, I guess it's from about 3 days ago. Yeah, he was going back and forth with Bernard Pollard Jr. Hey, they were frying. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Like, they were going back and forth. They had me
He definitely
dying laughing.
Bernard Pollard messed up when he put
I think Lamar
tape
won,
of
though.
himself in it, like
in college
and tweet in like high school and tweeted,
tape,
"Oh, y'all, I'm a dog." Like, bro,
he's definitely tweeting out college tape here, bro.
Right,
This is
right.
hilarious, bro.
Talking about something. Don't talk about me. I use the fear,
bro. But the national
he said
coverage,
facts are facts. Make sure you call me champ. Good luck getting one, bro. Listen, I get you a part of that team. You laid some booms. Solid 2 tackles in the Super Bowl, though. Like, come on, brother.
No, but it's just weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's not. I shouldn't say it's weird, but it's interesting when you're. Because he played what position, Pollard? He played
safety.
Safety, yeah.
So that's weird for a safe. Like when it's different when somebody like a linebacker or DN talks about what a quarterback does, because I have to analyze what you do to get to you. Safety, you're really just looking at receivers and the quarterback's eyes, but you're not trying to get to the quarterback, so it looks a little different. You speak like a safety speaking on a quarterback looks crazy.
Either way, it sounded crazy, but the jabs they were throwing back and forth were next level. This one got me. Pollard said, because he said, right, turn on the film, I'll teach you how to read the defense. He said, the last person I would go to for anything football related, the last person I would go to for anything football related, little bro. Talk to me about the best NASCAR. I'm all ears and eyes out here. He said, good one. If you get to a Super Bowl, we'll see what you do. Ask your coach about the extra body. I was helping all game and playing with 6 broken ribs. I played through my injury. Man up and throw from the pocket.
Bro, that's just crazy because
that's a good one though.
It's not a stat. To me, it's not a stat saying you played through an injury, but that's some football stuff. But trying to compare numbers with like between positions is crazy too. And that's just like a generational thing. I think it's just a concerted effort, one, for the national media to like really put this big question mark on Lamar anyway. 2, they've been talking.
He can't throw.
But it's just.
I shouldn't say he can't throw. He's not elite. He's not an elite passer.
The offense that they choose to run in Baltimore is not conducive on him throwing.
It's
whether you want to talk about him throwing or not, put him in an offense that lets him throw a high percentage.
The reason, it's none of that. The reason they're in this offense is because of Lamar.
But that's fine.
No, but he's not. There's not going to be this offense where he's doing a high amount of throws. But they
put him there as soon as they drafted him. They're like, okay, let's make the offense fit him. But what if he's outgrown that offense? Nobody's asked that. Then you have to look at John.
Now I will say Hollywood did say that. You got the players, and you're not using them.
Here's my question on it. With him throwing the ball sometimes as little as you wanted him to, did he look like an elite passer last year?
But if you look at if he's thrown 10 times all season,
but he was throwing the ball, he was throwing them out of games. The only thing, this is the thing. The saving grace for Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson also can throw them back into a game,
right?
But he was absolutely throwing them out of games, and the problem there is right, like. The days of Brett Favre are over. You're not going to be viewed as an elite quarterback if you throw the ball like that. Like Brett Favre is a great quarterback in our mind, but Brett Favre absolutely threw the Packers out of games, but then would throw them back into games, and he would finish, and you would be like, 4 touchdowns, 386 yards, 4 picks.
No, but look at the formula that most teams do. Most teams are, okay, cool, we're gonna run our offense for 3 quarters.
Why are they Southern?
And if we happen
Baltimore is north of us.
I know, but if we happen, but I'm talking about all of them. That's my best John Gruden impersonation. But look,
that was awful.
That was no, but most football.
What he say about Miracle on SpongeBob? We'll keep working on it. That was terrible.
Keep working on it.
No, but most coaches, the way they coach the teams is like, okay, cool, we're gonna scheme for the other team. We're gonna see how this works. But whoever's on the opposite side of winning and it's 2 minutes left and we happen to have a running quarterback in an RPO style, then you all of a sudden want your quarterback to be Tom Brady. It doesn't work like that.
But see, this is the thing. No, there I trust him. There he's good. There he throws them back into the game and gets them down to the end zone. Lost me a fantasy game that way, the bastard. Doggone threw him clean back into the game that he had clearly taken them out of, and Kid beat me by 1 point.
I remember that week because that whole week it was two games that saved the whole chat. I think the Chargers was playing Dallas, and like legitimately everybody in the chat had somebody on the Chargers or Dallas. I got like 52 points off Eckler because that game went in the OT. I remember that game was late.
And who was
and
Baltimore
y'all mugs
playing?
played the whole. They played the Raven. No, they played the Raiders. They played the Raiders, I think. Because that's when Derek Carr threw that. Because remember, he threw it off one leg going this way.
Oh, that's right. I had Carr.
Yeah, he threw it off one leg going this way.
Yeah. I had Derek Carr as my quarterback, and Derek Carr was playing me into that game. And then here came Hollywood Brown, and Lamar threw him back. Like he fine with him there. But the reason I was in the game is because the whole game I think Kid had Lamar and Hollywood, and Lamar was awful.
Yeah, he just needed that one play.
But in the fourth quarter, Lamar was God. And so, like, it's one of those things, right, where there's people are going to look at you differently. Like, at the end of the day, the stats look like this. But when you see the game, you go, yeah, Lamar's throwing a lot of picks to the other team.
It's just always weird to me. Like, they never look at, okay, whenever they have a high draft pick, they choose to create a system around him that gives him the best success. Year one. To me, the subsequent years, you should have coached him up to be more complete of a player where you can open up the playbook. That's the whole point. But we look at the player when he doesn't play outside of the style of play that the system is built for him to play in. And we don't look at the coaching.
But my thing is, inside his style of play, he turns the ball over a lot.
You talking about fumbling the ball?
I'm talking about throwing the ball to the other team.
No, I just throwing it because
throwing the ball is outside their scheme of play.
But see, this is
Lamar throws the ball
to
kind of a lot.
To AD's point, right? I think it's more so. I think that style of play has the expiration date on it. Because we've seen that
being a complete football player.
No. I'm because you was talking about the coaching.
Okay, yeah.
And the scheme. I think that scheme that's style of play that they have.
This is how many attempts Lamar had last season. 37, 32, 43, 41, 31, 27, 43, 37, 31, 26, 30. How many passes you want him to get?
Okay, now
these are the interceptions. 1, 4, 1, 2. These are all weeks, like back-to-back weeks. 0, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 0.
There's a lot of zeros up there.
Hey, okay.
He had two games where he threw four picks, right? Two games.
He had a game where he threw 4. He only had one game where he threw 4.
One game where he threw 4. And the rest are 2.
The Raiders game, he threw none, by the way. I was pissed. Bastard. 33-27. You're right. I was that game. I'm still mad. He beat me by 1 point. Kid beat me by 1 point.
But again, why look at Lamar at I'm saying before you look at Lamar for why he can't throw the ball, set him up for success where you either look at how the system is built for him to play, that he's being put in to quarterback, and look at the coaches. I wouldn't look at the player. They're looking at Lamar it's solely on him.
Who's throwing the ball?
I understand he's got the ball in his hand, but
now I say this. Lamar was also behind one of the worst offensive lines of football.
They've dubbed him a running quarterback from when he got drafted.
That was on them.
So the scale you put him on is how well he runs the ball.
But he's passing.
I understand that.
It's not like he's throwing he's passing more than Kirk Cousins is, and Kirk Cousins can't run.
But to me, this is like judging.
He's passing more than Baker Mayfield is.
This is like judging how good the chicken spot makes a burger. in my mind.
No. Because
if you run RPO, you're really putting a high value on how much he throws the ball.
Every team runs RPO.
But I understand that. But not every quarterback is built solely for that. You get what I'm saying?
But RPO,
crazy?
No, RPO is just an option though. No. You sounded crazy in terms of Lamar because he passes a lot. I was about to say he pees a lot. That's weird. He passes a lot. Like I'd get it right if Lamar was like if Lamar was passing 20 times a game. Lamar's throwing the ball 37 times.
But my only rebuttal to that is it because he has to, or it's because they're scheming for him to? Because again, you said he had a bad offensive line, so he's had. By circumstance,
he's had a bad offensive line.
Yeah,
he's had a bad offensive line. No, and that's a fact. Last season they were awful. Lamar was getting sacked all the time. You know what I'm saying? That all plays into it. But Lamar's also the dude that'll be like getting sacked and be like, huh?
So
pushing these. I mean, like
that counts as a throw, like that pitch. So I'm saying, like, honestly, it comes down to it, and we've tripped upon this. He's a victim of circumstance. I'm just saying he's being criticized to a fault by circumstance. Not because of his actual ability.
I will say that to a certain extent. I'm like this. Might like, when we play Madden, if you stop the run and you scoring and I'm not scoring, eventually I gotta pass.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's not my strong suit.
Yeah, clearly. I've seen this man win a game.
I still win games. I'll be winning
7-6. This man beat me one time, like 14-15.
Hey.
Had like 8 passing yards.
300 on the ground.
300 on the ground.
Wow.
Couldn't stop the run.
You gonna run that
ball?
ball?
That sounds like the best.
But I had a good enough defensive line. He couldn't get in the end zone either, so it worked out.
I really couldn't. It did work out.
But yeah.
But no, I think
I lost, so it didn't. But
I think what it is you're half right when you talk about the coaching standpoint of it, because I think there's an expiration date on it, because we've seen that with different schemes.
Yeah.
Like we've seen that with the Seahawks scheme, right? Where it's just, okay, we're gonna run the ball a couple of times. Russell Wilson is gonna give it to Carson, and then we're gonna try to throw this play action, and that's the only thing we got. That's not totally going to work all the time. But in Lamar's case, if they keep having him run the ball like that, I do think that there's going to be some times where they're going to figure him out, and then that's going to be the expiration date on that. Now, the flip side to that, to Pet's point about him throwing the ball a lot, which now they have him doing, I have not seen a target outside of Mark Andrews that is taller than 5'10".
I'll agree with that.
And Rashad Bateman and Hollywood Brown ain't cutting. Which you were absolutely right when you said, I had to come down off of this. Lamar's not an elite passer of football. He's good.
He's good enough.
He's good enough
with his legs. He's good enough.
I want to see them get him some type of receiver that's actually going to stay healthy, that he can actually go to on third down, that's going to give him a money play, and has an actual catch radius. Because until we see that, we're not going to see the full, complete version of him do what he actually needs to do on the field.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Baltimore is very like it's run, pitch, or deep ball. Correct?
Pretty much.
They don't have anybody in the slot, anybody coming across the middle. None of that. Except for the tight end.
Mark Andrews.
They got Mark Andrews, but they had Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, they got rid of Hollywood Brown.
Everybody like Hollywood Brown, like Coach T, me and Coach T was talking about this. Everybody know that's just straight line speed. It's a whole bunch of guys in the league that got straight line speed. He can't run a route. He can't
made a lot of money to not run a route.
But that's exactly what I.
A lot of money.
That's what I.
And the difference is, right? Like if you can't run a route, at least be big like DK.
But
so at least not go over
but that's what I mean when like the scheme, the way, the style in which they choose to play is not based off throwing the ball. To me, if you saying throwing the ball is me throwing a deep route anytime I'm out of options, like I can't run it, I can't quick pitch it to anybody, that's not conducive to him being like a successful throwing quarterback.
Passing
quarterback. And again,
at least sound like we know what we're talking about.
and even like when we talk about different quarterbacks, like we move the sliders depending on who we talk about. Like Justin Fields has been thrown into the same style as Lamar as they
wow, that's just black. Like, let's be real. We know why the NFL does that. That's just because they talk
about Herbert and they talk about and
you know how long it took Russell Wilson to become a passing quarathletic in the eyes of like it was around the league. You know he can throw that ball pretty well.
Oh yeah, he's athletic. Look at that. I'm like,
3
yo,
NFC championship games and 2 Super Bowls.
Right. It took him winning a ring, going to a second Super Bowl, getting to multiple NFC championship games for them to finally be like, you know, I think Russ can throw the ball. I think he's a pretty good passer.
One of the better deep balls.
I think he's a pretty good passer
because they treat oh boy, what's his name that the Patriots drafted?
Mac Jones and oh boy with the Jets that likes mom. Zach Wilson as like they came in being like cerebral, like oh he's really cerebral. Like
Zach Wilson he
walked up the street.
Nah, they ain't walk up.
I mean, he walked up the street, but he's a newbie. But I mean, I'm not. You don't.
The funny thing about them doing that, like they did make that comparison. Like he's a very cerebral quarterback. Like with Zach Wilson, is like whatever that little test is that they make them get, like the Wonderlic test or whatever they make them get. Justin Fields scored the highest out of anybody in the draft, and like I think anybody in NFL history, if I'm not mistaken. So like, I love
just athletic.
I love the comparisons between guys. Right, it cracks me up because like if you're white and you can jump,
you got a mind.
No, he's got sneaky hops. Sneaky. Hey, he's got a 48-inch vertical. Sneaky hops.
Daniel Jones is the epitome.
Hey, sneaky. Daniel Jones is sneaky fast. Daniel Jones legit was running 28 miles an hour on that. There's nothing sneaky about that.
Hold on. The most athletic white boy, like I'm sorry, I use white boy like we barbershop talking about. The most athletic non-black quarterback is Josh Allen to me.
No, Josh Allen is actually Daniel.
I respect him a lot.
I'm gonna say Gaffer. Daniel Jones isn't coordinated enough.
No.
Like Daniel Jones got in the open field.
He needs a dance.
Daniel Jones got in the open field and he didn't know like you're not supposed to like lean forward as you're running. Like you're supposed to like be upright. So like he was leaning forward and was like, oh Jesus.
Well, he looked like the you see that clip of the little girl trying to figure out what was that taco like free throw?
Oh bro, yeah. Hey.
It was like a 3 motion thing. Like it was like I moved my elbow before I moved my.
We just all got COVID right there. What the heck was that? Jesus, brother.
I got
hey, you know what kills me? Now y'all get to see that in person. Steph sneezed legitimately, like throws him almost out of the chair. He's gonna launch himself one day.
What did he just? Yo, time out. Completely out. Yo, do you remember the scene on The Incredibles, bro? When Dad got in trouble and his mom went up there, and the teacher is trying to explain what happened. That's what Pat did with the sneeze. Like,
bro,
as soon as it happened, did you see?
Hey, listen, because that confused him. Because it confuses me to like when you sneeze, your entire body almost like takes flight. Like you sneeze like how Daniel Jones runs. Like it's just like, here we go. And then we finna flip.
Like,
it's like
slide,
mad uncoordinated, bro.
Slide.
And then you did the hoodie pull up too. Like the hoodie was a mask, and we just all was saved from that. Like we all got it. It's okay.
You think it's the game? I think
not. Oh, one more thing. I promise you, the national media has consorted to try to do this Jedi mind trick thing, where they're gonna say like the Bears are going to be horrible and really hope that they're going to be good. Like, I promise you, you all had a meeting.
Yes.
It was like, yo, the Bears are going to suck. Everybody say they suck, so they're good. They suck. They suck so bad. They're bottom line. They have no athletes. What are you talking about?
They are trying to put a chip on the Bears show. There's no way that they're looking at and here's the reason. They might not be that good. I'm okay to believe that, right? They might not be that, but there's no way that they look at their schedule
and say they're going to be terrible.
And they say that, no, it's not even that they're going to be terrible, but that they're going to be worse than everybody that they play. Like there's no way you look at the schedule and you say, yeah, this team's not going to figure it out versus the Giants.
Yeah, they the Giants. Sorry, no offense, but they're the Giants better than them.
Ain't no offense to take. They running it back with Daniel Jones.
What?
Yeah, I'm trying to get Bryce Young, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this is the thing. Like, there's no way you look at the schedule that the Bears have.
It's Tyrod Taylor, maybe.
You got 2 against Detroit. Of course, you got 2 against Green Bay. We got the Bills. The Niners are a maybe sometimes. That's week 1, but it's in San Francisco. So I gave them the win. Who's starting at quarterback? If Trey Lance is starting at quarterback, that means that's a winnable game.
He's going to be on his butt most of the game.
Well, I don't know about that. We'll see. But he didn't look good when.
That's me talking.
When they were out there running him out, and I don't think I heard great things from him in training camp. And but I'm just talking about. There's no way y'all are looking at the schedule and you think the Bears are going to be a 3-win football team.
Bro, it's crazy to me.
There's no way.
Anytime anybody bigs up any Chicago team and then like the team doesn't deliver on their prediction, it's like they want to get it back in blood the next year. Like, it's like, okay, they go from being, potential, they're coming back, they're on the rise, cool. They fall flat on their face. They absolutely suck.
No, but here's the thing. Next year they might. Now, granted, they got more money to spend, they got draft picks, stuff like that. But next year they might.
They got the 5th. Somebody tweeted they got the 5th.
The 5th worst schedule in the NFL.
The 5th worst schedule, but the 5th highest, I think, in terms of like.
Hold on, when you
next season.
When you say
no for this.
When you say worse, you mean like difficult?
They have the 5th least difficult schedule in the NFL.
Easiest. Okay.
The 5th easiest schedule in the NFL
this year.
This year.
Okay.
That changes if you win enough games to be a 2nd place team. That's what happened to the Bears. The Bears won versus a 3rd place schedule, maybe a 4th place schedule. I think it was a 3rd place schedule though. They had to play 1st place teams the next year, and 1st place teams are hard.
Right.
And the Bears went 8-8.
Okay.
But that was good enough for 2nd place. Then they had to play 2nd place teams the next year, and their team just wasn't built to be good enough to beat those teams. Right. And so what I'm saying is, like, this year, I could see the Bears being fine. Winning, I honestly could see the Bears winning 10 games. I expect them to win about 7 or 8. I could see ways that they win 10 though. Yes. You got to beat a couple of tough teams. But I can see ways that they win 10 games, right? But I got them winning 7 or 8. But these months are coming out like Keyshawn Johnson's like, there's nobody.
Keyshawn blew me. I was like, bro, that's a lot of sauce you're putting on that. Like, he put a lot of sauce.
This is the thing. There isn't right now. Name the players that you would call players on this team that we know 100% know are good.
Roquan and Mooney.
Yeah,
Roquan, Mooney, Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery.
Maybe Lucas Patrick. Maybe. We've seen him play. We've seen him play well.
Kokomet ain't terrible. Justin Fields ain't terrible.
But we don't know. Justin Fields looked bad last season.
The jury is still out.
Justin Fields had good moments, but Justin Fields didn't look good.
But again, not enough data to me. But that puts the question marks on it.
Komet didn't look good last year.
His rookie season.
Listen, you can catch the ball all day in between the numbers. That's like Bears fans that be like, we shouldn't have got rid of Sean Desai because we gave up the fewest amount of yards in between the numbers. And I was like, but you gave up the most touchdowns. And I hate to tell y'all this, that's the important part. Cole Kmet didn't catch touchdowns. Did he catch one last year?
Hold on, shout out to Tom Waddle, but Tom Waddle has made every spunky white boy have to live up to him. And I don't know if that's fair.
Cole Kmet shouldn't be a spunky white boy.
That's true.
Cole Kmet is a good player. Or he should be a good player.
Be a good player.
Like, you look at what he did in college and what he has been in the NFL. Now, granted, he had 3 dudes throwing to him. But same thing as with Darnell Mooney. He's had a lot of schemes to learn here early on. But he should be a good player. He shouldn't be spunky white boy. He shouldn't be the dude that all I need you to do is go out there and hold on to the ball when you get your head took off in the middle of the field. You should be the one taking people's heads off.
Right. But my thing is, it's just in all athletics, everybody has to come in with a name. And if they don't come in with a name, it's like, I'm writing them off immediately.
You can make a name.
We have a lot of potential. And I'm fine basing my predictions off potential because you know what they aren't saying the same thing about the Packers. I'll say that. Cool. Anybody with Aaron, he could have 2 bums off the street and he can win whatever he wants to win.
We've seen Aaron win with 2 bums off the street.
That's neither here nor there. Because my point is we got to
26-4 that season.
But my thing is we have more than a few. We have a lot of guys who have a lot of potential. It's really up to a lot of factors. But it's up to, I won't even say a lot, it's up to a few factors. They have to have the opportunity to play against NFL competition. Yeah. They have to effectively do what they've done to get in the league and get picked up where they're at. Yeah. And they have to run the new scheme that's been put in place by a new coaching staff. If all those things fall into place, they will build their own name. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you.
To build their name.
I agree with you. But to that point, right, like the opposite side can make their predictions that the Bears are going to be terrible. But here's where my issue comes in. Nobody's saying that about the Giants. We're not hearing this national teardown. Now, granted, y'all have been the butt of jokes forever. So, like, no, but there's not this.
So we win the first game.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's not this national. That'd be the first time in 5 years they ever were above 500.
In 5 years?
They've never been above 500 for 5 years.
Y'all have been going downhill since Plaxico shot his foot. I know they did.
No, they won a Super Bowl after that.
Did they?
They won the Super Bowl after that. Yeah, they went up.
My bad.
But no, I mean,
Eli.
I mean,
that young man. Eli.
Yeah, no, that's like they've never been above 500 since. I think it's been 5 years.
Oh wow!
Since Daniel Jones has been there, they've never been above 500.
We've been garbage.
But here's the thing. But I'm not hearing that for them. I'm not hearing that for the Jets, who we play this season. I'm not hearing that for, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of teams on the Bears schedule that I look at and I'm like, hey, they're doing the same thing we're doing.
But
new coach, new system, new players, mediocre quarterback.
I think the biggest thing with I think the biggest case to make for you saying that they're going to get 8, probably 10 wins is the fact that I look at the schedule and the one thing I like is that the Bears are going to run the football.
A lot. When I say we have the best blocking wide receiver, second best blocking wide receiver, one of the best blocking fullbacks.
Oh, did you see the Pro Football Focus?
Yes, bro. Hey, it's about to be bubble screen, run the ball, bubble screen, run the ball.
When have we not? When have we not? If you go to any Bears fan, they're going to tell you, what should we do? Run the ball.
That's the problem. That's the problem. We got 36 inches of bear head over here built off of running the football and one Super Bowl. Get out of here.
And I don't want you running around. I don't want no pitches. I want you to run it down their throat.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the other thing to that too is like when you look at it defensively, like the teams on the schedule for this year, like the thing that I love, right, is that like Muggs because I think we talked about it, like they ranked the Bears secondary and it's like one of the worst secondaries. Like, I don't think Muggs understand this, but like Kyler Gordon was locking up your favorite team's wide receiver when he was in college, and that's probably the dude that he finna match up with. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
here's my thing.
Hold on. Quick question: Who's the best run defense we face this year?
10 wins.
The best run defense we face this year? Probably the Niners. The Niners and the Bills.
And the Bills.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Here's my thing. Will the Bears beat the Texans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Will the Bears beat the Giants?
Yes.
No.
You don't even believe it. You're trying to lie to yourself. You're trying to lie to yourself. You don't even believe it.
You're hopeful it's fine. I know where I come from that.
Yeah.
I come from that.
I'm gonna go home and put the Joker meme on my face.
Will the Bears beat the Falcons?
Yes.
Will the Bears beat the Jets?
Yes.
Yes.
Will the Bears beat the Eagles?
Yes.
No.
That'll be a very good game.
No.
I'm actually marked that one. I'm looking forward to that one.
Will the Bears beat the Lions?
Yes.
Yes.
How many times?
Twice.
That's 7 wins.
Well, there you have it.
And I got them split.
That's 7 wins. I'm not saying that this team is gonna be, oh my God, they gotta win. Like this is gonna be a dominant football team. We're gonna run it down your throat. We're gonna see you Sunday night. We're gonna destroy you. Like, I think they're gonna be very mediocre. But I think the guys we're playing are also very mediocre. I think Justin Fields is gonna be good.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, also, if
are we gonna beat the Bills?
What?
If you know,
are we gonna beat the Patriots?
What?
Are we gonna beat the 49ers?
What?
It's no to all 3 of those, by the way.
if you look at it's about how you string the wins together that people remember.
No, I'm gonna have to cool off.
If we win 4 weeks in a row,
Bro,
they're gonna move us to a national game.
No, I'm telling you, the Bears got a couple national games. I'm gonna have to towel off Bears fans in the middle of the season. I'm already knowing. In November, I've already called it. The Bears are going 4-0. I'm gonna have to towel Bears fans off. Dolphins, Lions, Falcons, Jets.
Yes.
We're going to come down to earth real hard on the Packers the week after that.
So. I want all the gas. I want all the gas going into that game.
I don't believe.
I want all the gas.
Hold up.
I just want to come in.
Hey, listen.
I'm going to pimp in like Hulk Hogan when we play the Packers because it's going to be a game.
Here's the thing, too. Right? They might win 5. Could the Bears find a way to beat the Cowboys? Is that out of the realm of possibility?
Come on now.
Heck yeah.
It's in Dallas. Like, the Cowboys can smoke a game mad easy. Yes, we've watched it for years. So I know there's going to be a stretch of the season where I'm going to have to be like, calm down, y'all.
I can't remember the last time we played Dallas in Dallas.
This is going into December?
I think it's been a few years.
They're going to smoke.
It's been a few years since we played Dallas in Dallas.
No, that's in October.
No, but I'm saying... Before,
Dallas in Dallas?
Dallas, I think it's been a few years since we played Dallas.
It has. It might be going back to... No, it's not going back to Rumble. We played Dak in Dallas probably. But I know Dak, we don't play him that often. Dak played here.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We haven't played him.
3 years ago?
It's been 2-3 years.
When we beat Mitch?
They're going to have to pull up...
Or when Mitch beat him?
They're going to have to
probably
pull up
Mitch's best game.
They're going to have to pull up some Phillips tape.
That was 2.
It ain't been that long.
It's not been that long?
Since we played them in Dallas?
They might have to pull up some Phillips tape.
Dallas.
They might have to pull up some Phillips tape to see where they beat where they played the Bears.
Well, it's definitely been a minute. It's at least been 3 years. Last time Bears played Cowboys in Dallas. Let's talk about yourselves. I'm just
no, I'm sorry. I really think they might put some Phillips tape.
December 5th, 20. That's in Chicago. Dang, that was in 19, though. Hey, you might be right.
That's what I'm saying, man. They're going to have to pull up some Phillips tape, man. It's a completely different team.
I think that's when Zeke was in. No.
Bears versus Cowboys 20. No, that ain't it.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks, they shut down Zeke and Gurley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bro.
2016.
Bro.
2016. They dominated us, by the way.
Hey.
31-17.
Hey.
For us to go 0-3.
They're gonna have to throw that tape out.
Oh. Who you want at quarterback that day?
Probably 3-4 of them.
Nah, Brandon Hoyer.
Oh wow.
Or Brian Hoyer, I'm sorry.
Brian.
Oh God.
Good old Brian.
Who you want at running back that day?
Oh.
Jordan Howard. 9 carries, 45 yards.
Was that his rookie year?
Leading receiver.
I almost jokingly said Musa Muhammad. My bad.
Moose.
It had to be my man's from I Am Athlete. What's my man's name?
Brandon Marshall? No,
B Marsh?
No.
2016?
No, Marshall was gone by then. No, he might have still been there.
I think he was with the Jets.
Jefferson.
He might have been there with the Jets.
What's my man at Philly?
Alshon Jeffrey?
Alshon, yeah.
No, but he was close.
I can't even tell you.
Zach Miller.
Oh, wow.
8 receptions, 78 yards, 2 tutties.
Hey, shout out to Zach Miller. Shout out to Zach Miller, man. Great player, man. Great player, bro.
And Kevin White played in that game.
Okay.
Kevin White had 6 catches for 62 yards.
Oh, wow. He ate. Hey, anybody
We sucked a long time.
Anybody got eyes on Kevin Knox? I always wonder where he been.
Kevin Knox.
The
NBA player?
With the neck.
Johnny Knox.
Johnny Knox, my bad. Let me get his name right. Johnny Knox.
I haven't seen him again. I always say, like, I saw him once.
I just wonder what he owned.
In Gurney Mills after. And I felt so, like, as an adult, I was like, oh, what an a-hole question to ask. But I was like, hey, man, you ever going to play again?
Did you ask him?
A-hole question to ask. You got to think, when Johnny Knox was playing, I was like 14, 15.
You asked him, though?
I asked him.
What did he say?
And he was like, it hurts to walk.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
What's your follow-up?
There was none. He walked away. As an adult, I'm like, like when you're like 15, 16, like people can tell you a kid, but also like they're like, you're conscious enough to know not to be a D-bag.
That is because you're a kid.
Because I was a kid.
So he knew you had genuine meaning.
I was like, oh man, it came to me as an adult. It's like mad cringy, but as like how I said it was like, oh, Johnny, it's so nice to meet you, man. You're one of my favorite Bears, man. Are you ever gonna play again? So it came off as like a kid asking it, but also mad douchebaggy.
No, but it's
a little douchebaggy.
That's like the kid. Yeah, if you ask a genuine, real, like you ask a really real question that no adult would dare ask. You're asking from a genuine place. But I hope he's good. I hope he's good.
I would love to get Johnny Knox on the show, man. Johnny Knox was dope.
I hope everything.
Hey, Johnny, if you ever watching the show, man, tune in with us. First off, for me to apologize to you, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's something that's stuck with me. So anytime somebody brings up Johnny Knox, I cringe a little bit. I'm like, bro, I'm such a D-bag.
But no, you're fine, bro.
I'm
sure there would have been 15, 16-year-olds now that would have said worse things.
I'm trying to think, when did Johnny Knox get hurt? That year would have been, I'm trying to think how old I was.
I remember the game. I don't remember.
I remember the game, but I'm trying to think how old I was. Like was that third?
Because he got hurt on special teams or being a receiver?
Special teams. He was returning a kickoff. Johnny Knox was... What is his last season? 2011.
Well, he probably good.
So I would have been.
He probably got a baddie and some kids, and he chilling like my man. I'd have
been 16.
That was just on the pivot pod. That was a bust.
Jamarcus Russell.
He probably chilling like Jamarcus Russell, boy. Jamarcus Russell.
You better throw biggest on that.
Yeah. he probably big chilling like him, man.
I was older than I thought,
or something like that. He probably doing TikTok.
I was probably 16 years old on that. Nah, that's douchebaggy, bro.
16?
16. That's
look at what 16-year-olds are saying now, bro. They call
but come on, bro.
Whack.
Yeah, but come on, bro.
Like for no reason.
I gotta be better than that.
You asked the
16-year-old me do better, man. If there's an alternate universe with me,
but
do better.
It came from a good place. You probably had a jersey.
It really, I did. I had a Johnny Knox jersey. I legit, like that was, I really was rocking with Johnny Knox.
You asked a genuine question.
But I was on some,
hey, y'all kind of look like because they both light skinned and stuff. Yeah, he was like, I answered that.
Like, I got to kill the cameras and smack them. Nah, man, that's tough, man. Johnny, I love you, brother. If you ever want to come on the show, man, we love to have you on the show, man. Appreciate you for showing love.
Hope all is well, brother.
I think we done covered a lot, man. We done gave these months, 2 hours, 36 minutes. I don't know. That's probably 2:15. The first 15 minutes I got to cut out for everything that we said. But, hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us from 11 to 1-ish, as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you haven't done so already. Also, check out the content that we got coming later today. Probably going to have a couple videos dropping as well. Bulls content, Bears content. Oh, I know we'll have, at a minimum, some Bears content dropping, right? Because I've been giving y'all my top 10 Chicago Bears of the 2022 season, top 10 most important Chicago Bears of the 2022 season. If y'all haven't seen the list yet, go check out the list right now. We've got 10 through 8 out right now. 7 will be dropping later today. So check that out. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Y'all got anything else to drop? Anything coming out? Any projects on the way?
Hey, man, just admit y'all rebuilding Blackhawks. Just admit it.
I got the second phone now.
Oh, yeah. Follow him on the TikTok, man. His TikTok is actually hilarious. I give him
follow me on the TikTok.
You gotta up your audio though. Put some headphones in.
Definitely gotta up the audio.
Put some headphones in.
You know, I got some music content dropping on that too though, because now with the second phone, I can do the duets, so I can put the lyrics on there.
Yeah.
Memorize them and everything like that. So y'all make sure y'all follow me. I got
the stuff on duet.
Yeah. Spoot is so big, Lord have mercy. Work it hard. You like what? Wait a minute. Hold on. What you got coming out, AD? AD got feet pics going up on the OnlyFans later.
Feet OnlyFans. If you like dark skinned man,
2 for $5.
No, I'll just
2 for $5.
It's $30 to remind them us. No,
dang, you upping it? 30,
hey,
30, bro. You can't cost more than Netflix, bro. You can't cost more than Netflix.
I'm not a cheap date. I can't.
Bro, come on, now. You gotta be slinging something else.
I'm not even gonna tell you.
For $30, brother. You shorten the people with just feet pics, bro.
$30 for 10 minutes.
What?
$30 for 10 minutes. AD selling FaceTimes. Yo. AD is selling FaceTimes right now. AD probably could make a market on that because he'd just be a great friend to have on that mug. So
therapizing and stuff.
No meetups. But if you see him in the street, say hi. Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. Joined by Mr. Two Letters. If you knew better, you do better. Say who better? Nobody, bro. Subscribe to his OnlyFans. And Stefan the Don in the building. I am Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.